Welcome to Overwatch. You're welcome to an episode of Probing the Many, the second episode of Probing the Many. Now, last week we started off nice and light and sort of fluffy and easy, talking about the World Cup in Spain with these semi-pro hodgepodge teams that have sort of been slotted together from many other teams. And we're not expecting like the greatest levels of Overwatch out of these teams necessarily. We're expecting some good stuff here and there, but you know, we're expecting it to be a bit iffy, which is part of the fun to me in the World Cup. Is anything could goddamn happen. This, however, this is the top of the top. This is literally the highest pinnacle in Overwatch that we're going to be looking at now. We are looking at just, oh my god, these guys are insane. It's Lunatic High versus Kongdu Panthera in the Overwatch OGN Apex season number 3. Right, these are Korean fucking monsters. This is, without a doubt in my mind, these are the two best teams in the world playing each other in the biggest stage, or I think probably the biggest prize pool around at the moment. You don't get better than this, and they delivered. Holy shit, did they deliver. This is a series that goes the full distance and is just remarkable in how good it is. So we're going to talk about a lot of things, but I mostly want to draw people's focus on a single aspect, which is the Tracer play. So while I get the VOD started by Twitch chat, while I get the VOD started, a nice low volume, starting on Nepal, let's talk about Tracer. Like, Tracer in pro-level Overwatch is actually very, very different to how Tracer will function in the ladder and stuff like that. It's actually very unique, because Tracer, it very much occupies sort of her own space, right? And that's a very loud voice this man has. Tracer sort of plays alongside the team, not necessarily as a part of the team. It's a very, very strange thing that the Tracer is often doing in a pro-level game. They are mostly looking to find an angle to get into the back of the enemy team, especially with like the dive comps that have sort of becoming popular. We just take this team as an example with its triple DPS. I don't have Epic Pen open, so let me get that open. Epic Pen. And let's get that open so I can draw all over the screen. So like, let's take this as like a standard team lineup. This is relatively, you know, straightforward and standard. There is no Tracer, which is honestly annoying. But pretending that Bird Ring is on the Tracer instead of on the Genji. Or just like looking at this team lineup as something to attack. The Tracer is usually looking to sort of get onto the Zenyatta. Let's not use blue, let's use yellow. Usually looking to get onto the Zenyatta, but the problem with that is that there's an enemy Tracer usually causing problems. So both Tracers, so like, let's take this map, for example. Both teams might go and fight over the stairs over here. And that means that both Tracers are probably actually going to come through this way, right? And they're going to be trying to rotate round, but they usually meet somewhere in the middle, and then they'll start fighting each other. And then it becomes like a Tracer-on-Tracer duel. Do the Tracers go past each other? Do they fight each other? Do they occupy each other? Which Tracer manages to slip away, get some damage done, which Tracer occupies the point. And especially on Nepal and on King of the Hill maps, you see Tracers become very important because they often are the ones contesting the point, fighting for the point, while there's a team fight happening elsewhere. The Tracer is the mobile person that needs to get pulled away to go do other stuff. And so you'll see all sorts of stuff happening. It's actually really, really cool when you start seeing how these Tracers all sort of work and operate. And you start seeing how they flow around, how they move around, the decisions made, how they deploy them, how they put them to work. All that kind of stuff is very, very important. Kongdu Panthera, there we go, swapping onto the Tracer Soldier. This is sort of the standard, what I would call like the Korean comp, which is sort of filtered into North America. It's basically a dive comp, but instead of running a Genji, they run a Soldier 76 instead. That's just to get some poke down. You're basically trying to fight for space, poke, and then try and create an opening. And you'll see very quickly, these teams occupying space around the point. One team just moves straight onto the point, the other one tries to occupy around the back. And we're seeing something slightly unusual, and the Tracers are actually moving very aggressively. Like, this was actually kind of surprising to me when I first watched this, was Guido and Bird Ring just basically being a part of the team, a part of the unit. Instant first blood, though, goes to Lunatic High, which is absolutely huge. That gives them a nice advantage. Now they can start going aggressive. Notice that first pick comes in, and they just instantly start going aggressive. And that is partially because Guido basically spots out, well, they get a good chunk of damage down, and honestly, wow. Luffy's taking a chunk from someone. Where does Luffy take that chunk from? He's okay, he's okay, he's okay, and then something just nails him. That looks like a Soldier 76 rocket. Which I think is why Guido will just make this jump here, to try and find him. He's looking for him, and then the Diva's just blocking it. They don't quite know where he is, and then Ryu Jae-hong just gets him. The monster. And that's just an easy opening now for Lunatic High. They have more healing than the enemy team. They can take advantage of it. The enemy team's been poked out, and they just take the point. Very, very simple. Very, very simple. Those borders, yeah, there's not much I can do about that. This is on the YouTube VOD. It's still better than the Twitch VOD, let me put it this way. And then this is sort of more of what I was talking about, what we see here. This is what more typical of tracers, right? You have the two tracers, and hello tracer, two tracers fighting off on the side and looking for an angle, looking for some kind of pathway, and then the rest of the team is fighting elsewhere. The tracer here is also just poking around, seeing where the enemy team's holding, might be trying to feel out for an angle. She might now bounce around and go all the way around to the opposite side, to the balcony side. She might go to the high ground, but she's going to probably try and find another approach. Meanwhile, Lunatic High are going to be sitting pretty, feeling happy on the point. It's now up to Kongdu Panthera to get something done. Lunatic High, no surprise, have massive ultimate advantage on Ryujie Hong, just because he did so much damage. The fight was relatively simplistic. No ultimates in the fight at the moment. It's just raw skill, raw positioning coming into it. But honestly, because Lunatic High are on the defense, they have the advantage here, so you expect them to do good things, expect them to win out on it. Fisher takes a shit ton of damage very, very early. And he's getting poked back, so now he can't really be a part of this fight. Kongdu Panthera getting poked out as they start moving through the choke, have to back away, heal up, take a moment or two, get the cooldowns back in, and then start doing stuff. But then Esker has built up an ultimate during this time and will just kill absolutely fucking everything that he needs to, especially because the Diva's gone down, so now it's free as fuck for Soldier 76. At the moment, this is, I would say, more of an outskill. This is a huge shame from Guido. This feels like a massive shame. Is that a rule of how King of the Hill works? Holding a point is easier than taking it? Yes. It's more that you get to position defensively and prepare, and then they have to make some kind of active play. This was like, I remember when I was first watching this, I thought this was just a huge tragedy. Look, because if Guido lands this bomb, this is huge. Kongdu Panthera do a really good job of just peeling back and just hiding away from the soldier. Soldier can't really get into this choke point. They're very wary about going into the small room. This, to me, looked like the easiest pulse bomb in the world, and then he just completely fucking whiffs it. And as such, Rascal's got enough time to build up an ultimate. He runs in, sound barrier comes out, ultimates start coming out, Kongdu Panthera starts spending, and start getting results for it. Toby's also spent his ultimate as well. It's honestly looking okay now for Kongdu Panthera as they start wrapping around and just start cleaning up. So now they have initiative on the point. They could just stand on the point, find on the point, take the time, clean up. No huge deal. You can see how fast they're moving. Like this is always the impressive part to me about watching Koreans first person, especially the Soldier 76s. They are so quick with like the fucking snap aim. It's so good. How did that not stick on anything? I don't know. He must have felt so gutted by that. Right, the important thing to note with that last fight for these guys is they've used very, very similar resources, although there's actually kind of a big discrepancy. It looks like Miro, unless that is like a 71. No, I think that is just 8%. So Miro used his ultimate, while Fisher hasn't used his. So Fisher actually has his ultimate in his back pocket, like by the time fight starts, he'll have it. But Zenyatta ults are on both sides. So what we're expecting to see here, it's probably just a lot of pressure. Like, what we're going to be looking for is Lunatic High are going to look to put a lot of pressure onto Luffy. And if they can find Luffy and just get onto him, then they can force the ultimate. If they force Luffy to ult first, then they have an advantage, and then they can win on the back of that team fight. This is also largely on the Tracers, and you can see the Tracers going into the backline looking for stuff. Gets the stick, forces the Transcendence, but unfortunately, they had exactly the same idea with Birdring going in, getting Ryujie Hong, and that's probably going to put an end to this fight. So again, the Tracers being absolutely pivotal here. Simple objective for both teams. Like, this is where there's a common misconception, and this is where I think you can spot a bad analyst, in my mind, is when they start overcomplicating the plans. Like, these teams are making these plans like fucking this, okay? They're coming up with these plans super, super quick, and they're never that complicated. They're never really super, super in-depth. It's not like, okay, we'll put this person here and pull them here, and, you know, and we'll move these people here, and it's not like a chess game. It's like a very just simple, objective-driven idea of, okay, we know they have Zenyatta ult, we have Zenyatta ult. If they Zenyatta ult first, and we Zenyatta ult afterwards, we have an advantage, because our Zenyatta ult will last longer, so we'll still have it while we're fighting and dealing damage to them. Therefore, if we can find their Zenyatta first, put pressure on him, get some damage on him, or kill him, then we can just win the fight and take the point. Very, very simple. It's just the execution that's very difficult, and a plan like that does rest very heavily on the Tracer's shoulders. Finding the Zenyatta first and foremost. It also rests on the Zenyatta's shoulders to put a Discord orb on him, because that can instantly turn it. Both Tracers succeeded in their missions, but because Kongdu are currently holding the point, Kongdu are happy to sort of sit pretty. Although the bomb went on to Luffy, so he had to use his. So now, Lunatic High know, hey, we have this ultimate that we can use. They could go aggressive using this ultimate if necessary. That means that Kongdu Panthera might have to do something as a reaction. They could, for example, try and stall the push. So if Lunatic High go in with the Transcendence, they can just use the Diva Bomb to try and stall out the value from it. Or they could try and get something done elsewhere. Ryu fires off the ultimate. It looks like they tried to go aggressive. So you can see, because we're on Guido right now and he's trying to put pressure on Luffy, but he can't really do it because they're just all balled up. You see Lunatic High coming in, they put Transcendence in, and it looks like the enemy team just went aggressive. So it looks like Kongdu Panthera just went really aggressive on them, tried to make them use it early before they were in a good position. You can see the bomb comes out, even kills Ryu Jae-hong, because Void's a beast with these things. They just stay on the point, doesn't even get contested, doesn't get flipped at all, and it keeps ticking up in favor of Kongdu. It's like a very simple idea, and it revolves very heavily around support ultimates, and then how do you play, like, what support ultimates do they have, and then from that you can extrapolate, okay, what offensive ultimates can we use to negate the effect of the support ultimates? And that's kind of what makes it exciting, and that's why, as a color caster, I will generally be following the support ultimates like a hawk, right? You will generally be keeping an eye on what support ultimates people have available, and rather than just pause this and keep going, because we've got like 7 games to go through, we're just going to let this play out while I finish this point. It's just a case of, okay, we have this, they have this, what can we do to negate the effect of that, and then capitalize off the back of it. Now, why do I want to focus on Tracer? Why do I want to talk a lot about Tracer? I want to talk a lot about Tracer because Tracer is the sort of the pendulum that keeps it swinging, or the mixer that keeps things interesting, right? Tracer keeps the game alive and fresh, because what Tracer does is it gives you this element of uncertainty, where if the Tracer gets in and you have ultimate advantage, or you are setting up for your plan, Tracer gets in and puts a lot of pressure on your supports, then suddenly the supports have to react, and it's just purely off the basis of the single hero. It's not even necessarily using a pulse bomb, it's just the presence and pressure provided by that single hero. It's very, very important for the Tracers to be active, to be flanking, to be finding pathways around the Diva to make it hard for their team to set up properly, because what will end up happening is if the Tracer is flanking appropriately, the Diva then has to go and protect the supports rather than protecting the front line, which means the front line can do less, can't pressure quite as much, and if the Tracer is getting shot down or killed, then the front line can do more, be more active, and push more as a result. It's sort of this very, very important ebb and flow to the game. So you can generally actually tell quite a lot from how Tracers are doing, how the Tracer versus Tracer matchup is going, and then you can start reading more and more into the game. Okay, we're moving on to the next map. I'm going to have a quick slurp of my drink while we move in onto Village. Running a Farah comp here. Now, Farah is, I'm going to admit, Farah comps are not something I'm hugely intimately familiar with. It's more of an American thing and clearly more of a Korean thing. To me, the weakness of this, especially if you're just running purely the Farah, is that if they have a Diva, which, you know, spoiler alert, it's Korea, they have a Diva. Tracer ulting a Zen to force trans. Is it worth it on both sides? Yes, absolutely. Like, let me put it this way. If the Zenyatta dies, they just lose a team fight, and that's bad. You don't want that. You don't want that at all. The Tracer Pulse Bomb is easy to farm, easy to get, and then you just put it on the Zenyatta. The Zenyatta will then have to ult, but then the next step, the following step for these guys is the reaction off the back of that. So the Zenyatta will announce, I'm stuck, I'm going to ult, he ults, and then they have to do something with that ult. It sort of forces them into making a push, forces them into something happening. If they get, you know, if you force a Zenyatta ult, and then the team just sort of stands there going, well, I don't know, and they don't do anything with it, fine. So in that previous instance, for example, if instead of having Luffy go down, instead of having Ryu Jae-hong get sniped out and get killed, if Guido just put a bomb on Luffy, and then Lunatic High just backed off, and then engaged afterwards using Ryu Jae-hong's ultimate, they would have just instantly won that fight, for example. So you can see, like, this is actually really nice from Lunatic High, where they just managed to like bulldoze out. Like Rascal's fallen back a little bit. I had to sort of hover back, and you see it's kind of hard to make out the blue. I'm sorry, the void quality isn't perfect. You can see like they're fighting around the lower ground, and fighting around the lower health pack, and just sort of going to take the time with it and just engage everything on the ground. You can see Tracer putting the damage on the monkey, because this Farah, like 6% ultimate charge. Has Farah landed a rocket yet? Like, let's go check. Did Farah land a single fucking rocket? There's one. That's a hit. And nope, nothing. She landed a conch blast. Still nothing. I'm looking at the ult percent charge. I'm seeing no hits. 0 hits. Now she's starting to hit shots, but it's way too late. It's way too late. You can see Eska's on 50 fucking percent ultimate charge. Guido's on 50% ultimate charge. This Pharah did fucking nothing for Kongdu. I don't like... I think if you're going to go with a Pharah comp, like, you've got to go all in on the Pharah comp, and you can't play just Pharah on her own because she has to float 3 fucking miles in orbit and can't land shots on the ground. I don't rate it at all. So yeah, this is a really nice counter. This is like a really nice re-engage though. Well, it's because we're on Eska, so we're just looking in the sky, but it looks like they're managing to push their way back out. It looks like Birdring managed to get a good chunk of ultimate charge, a good chunk of change from something. Winston jumps back in. Is that a Discord orb? Who's that going on? It goes onto the Zen, because you'll see a Discord orb sort of come flying across the screen, so let's keep an eye out for that. Goes onto the Zenyatta. That's beautiful. That's lovely. That's just what they want. Can Rascal even get anywhere near it to confirm the kill, or is it all going to be on Birdring and Fisher? It's all on Birdring and Fisher by the looks of it. If we look at Ryu Jae-hong's health bar, it looks like something hit him. Something did hit him. Okay. And now Birdring sort of going in, having a good time. Pressuring out Eska. Eska's sort of tucked away, feeling a little bit safe. Forced to back away. Eska still feeling pretty safe because he's with his Lucio, but they only have Baby Diva, so now Rascal's coming back online. Rascal. I want to say Rascal because that's, I think, what the casters say. You know, I'd say Rascal. Rascal doing good. This is a friggin... Oh, I remember this ultimate. Holy shit, I remember this ultimate. This ultimate should not get this value. This ultimate was fucking ridiculous. This was Kongdu Panthera just completely fucking up. Eska gets himself a triple kill. Why is this completely fucking up? Kongdu Panthera have won, right? Red team, Kongdu have absolutely won the fight. So many people in Lunatic Eye have died, they flipped the point, they're feeling good, and then Eska does, like, the crazy, right? This is fucking insane. He's pretty much on his own, and he's pressed Q. And it's just like, what have you done? Why did you do this? You've just thrown away a huge ultimate for the next fight. They have Baby Diva at the moment on 84%. There is a window of opportunity for these guys to come in and super dive the Diva and maybe get her before she gets ult. It's unlikely, but it's possible. Otherwise, they can maybe find a good angle. Nepal has tons and tons of different angles you can take. Village is super open. You see the bubbles blocking him, and so he can't really shoot through it. He can't really find the damage. And then he jumps over here, and for some reason, everyone's just fighting out in the open here. And it's just like, what? It might have been Guido forcing them into the open. It might have been a boot from Toby, but something fucked up there for Kongdu. That should not happen. Like, Kongdu needed to realize that they have won this fight. Take it easy, heal up, regen. Like, this motion to me makes me think that he got booped by Toby. And so he gets caught out, and the Winston was already low. But honestly, that's such a huge fuck up. That's such a huge fuck up. Okay. Like, this is chaotic. This is a chaotic match. The Rascal poking him again. He's just having a look. Probably scouting for his team as well, trying to spot out where people are. Again, ultimate situation has been tricky to follow in this game. We can see it's been chaotic as hell because neither supports have ults at the moment. Toby's just coming online now for the first support ultimate. And did he use it then? No, he didn't. So they're just going to push forward. Like, the plan right now is just for... It looks actually okay for Kongdu because they're just taking ground. They forced out the Lucio ult. If they can last a couple of seconds, they could use Luffy or Waka Waka. Waka Waka probably going to come online before they need it. It looks like they're going to trance first. Which is okay. If they can pressure Ryu, then they'll be grand. Otherwise... They might need to, like, they're probably going to use the double layering of ults anyway, because they have them both, so they're going to use them both to probably win this fight. But they might be looking to put pressure on Ryu Jae-hong. It looks like they're actually focusing down on the monkey, so they're just biding the time. It looks like they've taken ground. They might just be looking to flip the point. Like, they have all the space. There's the sound barrier. Ryu Jae-hong fires off his ultimate, but there seems to be no counter engage at the moment. You notice they're still not taking the point. They're still busy fighting. And now Rascal's going to be looking for his ultimate, but he's just going to hold on to it for 3 weeks if I remember this moment correctly. He just fires it over there into a Diva. Feels bad, man. Diva's pretty good. And then he dies. If I remember right, Rascal basically holds onto this ultimate for 3 fucking weeks, and it was driving me crazy when I first watched it. Yeah, he's holding onto the barrage, holding onto the barrage. Like, they have this window of opportunity where they're fighting around the point. Even bounces the Soldier 76 out, so the Soldier's not a part of this fight for now. And then it looks like he's getting set up. Like, this motion here, this is where I was thinking, oh, he's setting up to catch the Soldier when he comes back in. Right? Because he's going to drop down next to relatively near the main. Like, he's just watching where the Soldier's going. But then, okay, Fisher gets him. So now he has to come back in. He follows Ryu. Almost sets up on, like, both supports under him. But hey, the Diva's just there blocking. So he decides to peel around. And then he just fires off the most random-ass, pointless barrage I've ever seen. And gets nothing done and dies. Because Farah. Guess what? I'm not a big fan of the Farah pick on this map. Oh, boys. It is chaotic. Kongdu did actually manage to flip the point and take it, but it was messy. It was messy as hell. Now, the bright side for Kongdu is that both sides use their ultimate, but Luffy, I actually want to see this. Luffy has built so much ultimate charge. He's getting so much in the end of this fight. So there's the barrage block. And I'm just watching this ultimate charge because we'll follow the Farah. We don't follow what's happening on the point. Ryujie Hong goes down to Rascal. And then I think Luffy's just free shoot. Like, nothing is pressure. Ah, okay, here we go. Guido goes down, so now Luffy is free to just shoot people. And so you'll probably see this climb relatively quickly. I imagine? No? Somewhat quickly. And now it's just going to heal everyone back up. If you could start matches by saying the names of all the players and their roles, it would be appreciated. I don't know them, finding who is who during the match takes time. Okay, it's fair enough. And right now, I'd say the main players, especially for like these games, I want you to keep an eye on, or want you to focus on, are Luffy and Waka Waka, who are the supports for the red side, Kongdu Panthera. Ryujie Hong and Toby, who are the supports for Lunatic High. And then Guido and Birdring, who are the tracers for Lunatic High and Kongdu, respectively. Like, these guys are the guys we're mostly going to be talking about today. Then we'll sometimes be talking about Eska and Rascal as the other DPS players. Tank players, we can focus on another time. But we won't be focusing too much on tank players, although Void has some really sick Diva bombs later on in the series. This is very typical for tracers. So I just want to point this out because it's actually a really cool little tactic. You can see Tracer here. This is Guido, Lunatic High, going and flipping the point at the moment. You can see there's 5 happy people, all going high ground. Now, the newbie, scrubby reaction to this is going, oh my god, guys, let's send everyone to go and fight the Tracer. What actually should end up happening is you'll see Birdring peel down and come down and fight the Tracer on the point, and then the rest of everyone else will fight elsewhere. And so you get these two sort of battles happening simultaneously, where you have Tracer on Tracer, and then you have everyone else fighting. Now, the defenders can give themselves an advantage here, and there's like a really cool economics decision for the teams, which is, do they give Tracer the orb? You can see Birdring has taken started off on a little bit hurt, and so it's actually not inconceivable for Luffy to put the orb on Birdring, and then Birdring can come down here and fight this Tracer, and will pretty much guaranteed win the fight. But they might need that orb elsewhere. So let's see, how do they react to this? How do they react? There goes Birdring. He doesn't get the orb, so it's just a relatively even fight. These two are just going to fight each other on the point. Unfortunately, Guido has to recall first, and Tracer vs Tracer, who recalls first, then has to basically flee or try and force the enemy into making a mistake, which is unlikely. And so he goes to help his team, who are busy getting minced up here. You can see he comes in, gets the Winston. That might be enough, and actually they manage to get a Zenyatta ult out of it because they get worried because their tank is down. Maybe they try to save him, but they're still managing to pressure them back because pushing out as 5 people into an area that's being suppressed by Farah is extremely difficult. And you can even see that they're trying to block this fire as much as possible. And they managed to do it, hey, because Rascal fires off another random ass ultimate that doesn't seem to be wise. Guido's gone back on the point, but honestly, even if he flipped it, they wouldn't care. They've already won the fight. Like, it doesn't matter if he flips it and gets a couple more % points. They've just won the fight, so now they can take the time, get it back on the point, and hold on to it even longer. Okay, they're going to push main. So this is This is a tricky push. Okay, you have sort of a couple of different options if you are going to push through main on Village. The basic way I see it is you have 3 sort of choices here. You have a choice where you can try and establish control of the high ground, so you generally see a Winston go up here and he'll play around in this area. Okay, so you'll play around on this high ground area and you'll try and sort of, you use this to sort of set up, where you'll come up here, you'll set up here, and then you'll try and keep pressure on them if they try and move this way. And then that will set you up to spot out where the Zenyatta is or where the Lucio is. You wait for a Discord orb, and then you dive onto it. And you can see Rascal's changed, by the way. Well, I'll just highlight that he's no longer on the Farah. Alternatively, you can try and just get behind the point and then try and just sneak the point and try and do like a slow poke and slow push, which honestly they could do because they have Esker on Soldier. They also have a support ult in reserve, which works nicely for them. Or you can try and just go like balls to the walls and just engage super hard. It looks like they're taking the sort of second option where they'll just drop down and try and take some ground and then try and poke and see what they can find. And honestly, seems to be working out. Rascal almost dies. And unfortunately, the Winston gets into a really good position. Fisher just runs in on the Winston. So he's going to put enough pressure on them that Ryu Jaehong feels like he has to ult. They also use Sound Barrier, but that's fine. Support ultimate for support ultimate so far. Sort of stalls the fight for a second or two, and then you're going to wait for like the next ka-chunk of the fight, right? Support ultimates are out. Bit of a delay. People are farming ultimates, positioning, trying to maybe sneak a kill here and there, but what people are mostly doing is just looking for that opportunity. One of the downsides, this is always quite funny, one of the downsides of a Zenyatta ultimate is that it highlights exactly where Zenyatta is. You know at all times during a Transcendence, Zenyatta is here, because it's literally like a big golden fucking aura that points, he's right fucking here. And so it's very, very easy then for Birdring and Rascal to go find Ryu Jaehong. Unfortunately, for Birdring, that means that he finds Ryu Jaehong, and Ryu Jaehong just kills the shit out of him, which is amazing. Unfortunately, I think for Lunatic High, they're just waiting out for the Zenyatta ultimate, and then they're going to trance. There's the trance, and now they can just keep fighting. There's no support ultimate to counter this. And so you can see now the kill feed's filling up with red. He puts the bomb on. Unfortunately, he puts it onto the Zenyatta, who's still ultimating, and to no avail. Ultimate advantage wins the game. And there we go. And I believe that's the end of that map. Those Koreans play best of 3. Are any of these guys on Team Korea? I think a majority of them, if I remember right. Just go and get all the names up. Let me get the World Cup up. World Cup, play Overwatch. Scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. No, what? Give me the team. South Korea. So here's the Korean team. Ryu Jaehong, Zunba. So these two. Yeah, I remember there's like 2 from Lunatic High, 3 from Lunatic High. Toby as well. Toby, Zumba, and Ryu Jaehong, and then I think the rest are from a different team. Yeah. My knowledge of the Korean scene is not great, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna stand back and say that I know the Korean scene extremely well. I watched the finals of Apex, and I didn't watch like huge volumes of it elsewhere. I generally watch clips and bits and pieces of it, so I'm not intimately familiar with teams that are not Lunatic High and Kongdu Panthera, basically. I know team names, but I don't really know the players that well. But anyway, poetry in motion, apparently. Poetry in motion. Let's keep it going. We've got mid-show entertainment, because Korea puts on a good production. And skipping forward, skipping forward, skipping forward. There's the lovely Carters. What a beautiful suit. All statistics. Feels good, man. Playing in a lovely venue. This was very interesting to me because, hey, they play on Eichenwald. Who the fuck plays on Eichenwald these days? These guys do. So, set number 2 take place on Eichenwald. Let's talk about Eichenwald. Down, look at that crowd. Yeah, the entire event looked great. Korea likes doing outdoor finals for their events, and they are always super hype. Eichenwald is a map that tactically I know extremely little about. I know that Sombra plays a fucking enormous role on attack and defense at pro level play, but honestly, it's a bit of an enigma to me. Mostly because we don't care about it in the World Cup, and Western tournaments haven't used Eichenwald in a while, if I remember correctly. Like, Western teams do not like playing on Eichenwald at all, so it's extremely rare that you see it in the West. As such, I know extremely little about it as tactically. But what I do know is that Sombra is very important. Why is Sombra super important? Because there's so many health packs to fucking play around with it here. Like, there are 3 health packs basically in this courtyard area. And there's the one over here, there's the one sort of just behind the point, you know, to the left from here, there's one over here. There's health packs fucking everywhere for you to play around with as a defender. So let's skip forward. A triple support Sombra, and you can see on attack they're taking Sombra as well. And they're going to just try and take one of the health packs for themselves, or they take the health packs for themselves. The reason why offensive Sombra is so good is there's a health pack here, there's a health pack over here, and you can even try and take the health pack in the computer store if you take that much ground. So it's basically a matter of who can build EMP fastest, and then just push your way through. And you can see they spot that that's hacked, he's probably reporting it to his team. And you see that they're all defending behind the point. Like, no one is actually defending out in the open, they're all huddled in the fucking hunting lodge, playing around the health packs here. Looks like they found a health pack that they can hack, so they're probably going to take this. That means that Guido can easily play around that health pack. And so they can start putting pressure on the point. It seems they've found an opportunity, maybe a Discord orb's gone on the right target. Winston jumps in super aggressively. This is honestly crazy aggressive, but they have an Ana, so they can afford to do it. This is what Ana lets you do, is you can play that much more aggro, because if the heal grenade goes in, the healing goes in, and the D.Va doesn't block it, then the Winston can get picked up and healed up pretty nicely. That aggression has meant that, hey, they've managed to get onto the D.Va, and by the looks of things, it was just a Sombra hack onto the D.Va. That's given them a window to get in here, and so they're going to start going in. They get the hack onto the Ana, and Ana no longer has cooldowns, so they can start putting pressure onto her. Meanwhile, though, hey, Birdring, Fisher, diving into the backline, getting the counter dive going, probably playing around the health pack inside here, and so they're getting a lot done. It looks like attackers have the advantage. Lunatic Hide's going to be pushing forward. No huge issue. I'd say that Kongu Panthera just overextended there. Like, they just went super deep on a dive that they couldn't really win the dive with. I don't know, it just, that felt weird to me. I'm not sure what Winston was going for there, but he just took so much attention, so much healing that they couldn't keep Winston and D.Va alive at the same time, and D.Va goes down. Ryoji Hong swapping off the Soldier 76 by the looks of things. What's he swapping to? Swapping back onto the Soldier. So double support. Makes sense. Probably because they're going to swap Eska off very soon. I doubt they're going to keep Sombra for long on the second point. So they're just keeping him from the EMP. And then they're going to move in and just get something, try and get a team fight one basically. They know that Rascal probably has his. So yeah, something to watch for. That being said, they probably know that support ultimates aren't at a premium at the moment, and especially Lunatic High are only going to have one if they have any, and Kongu Panthera are only going to have one if they have any. So honestly, finding supports, locating supports, and pressuring supports, especially the Lucios here, could be absolutely huge. If the Tracers can find and pressure the supports, then you know that you could probably force them into getting an ultimate, and that defensive ultimate is the only defensive ultimate they have, so then you can take it easy, play it slow, and go from there. This is actually a really nice trick I know to beat Sombras. Which is, you see Sombra, like they spot where Sombra's got a beacon, so Birdring could just play around that area, and the Winston is even playing around that area. They just stick her and kill her. Feels pretty bad, man. If you could spot where the fucking translocator is, it gets easy. Eska goes down, they're getting shut down. A beautiful double pulse bomb, though. This is, again, why Tracer is a very good hero. She can swing team fights pretty much immensely, but you can see Toby has gone down, still has an ultimate, so in theory, Waka Waka could probably build up his ultimate. They know Eska is out of the fight at the moment, so they could maybe try and do something with it. Looks like they're just going to use the D.Va bomb instead. That's their reinforcement distances, now playing a big role as people are just coming back, trickling in. Taking the point. We'll just keep pushing it forward. Eska's still staying on the Sombra. They do know that the enemy team definitely will have sound barrier for the next fight, so that could be a big reason why. Like, they're 100% certain now that Waka Waka has sound barrier. If they can force a sound barrier, then they can EMP it and just deny its value. But of course, the same thing could happen to them, so who knows. A nice hack from Rascal, but he's just going to get out, because Sombra, just Sombra things. Looks like they might be going for it. They just isolate the support, gank the shit out of the support. Beautifully done. Again, Tracer play, just creating plays. Tracer plus Sombra is actually a fucking nightmare to deal with, and you can see, like, they're already turning around. Eska knows exactly where to look. Wait, that isn't... Who is that? Yeah, that's the Zenyatta. He's just dropped down from the high ground. It's like, why is he there? Sombra Tracer is a nightmare for Zens. So out of desperation, by the looks of it, Rascal decides to use EMP. The question is, did Toby get hit by it, or can Toby use a sound barrier? It looks like they're just going to chill, and then they're probably going to get ready to go for the next push. And it looks like they're just going to pressure out Waka Waka. If they can, during this time, like, because this is a lost team fight, one of the best things they could do is force Waka Waka to use his ult, and it looks like they've just managed to get rid of him instead, while bouncing back because Lucio wasn't killed during the EMP, so he's got sound barrier now on the point, and now they're just going to push out and win the fight, because Waka Waka got pressured out and chased out, and then Lucio wasn't killed. That's insane. That's actually really, really fucking crazy. There's no way that Toby should survive after the EMP. Let's watch this over again, just to make 100% sure that we understand what's going on here. I want to watch this again, see what 100% sure what goes on here. So they get the advantage. The Zenyatta goes down, the Diva kills the enemy Diva, so there's no enemy Diva. And so because they lose their Zen, Rascal decides to EMP, and it looks like a really fucking good EMP as well. Like, it's right in the middle of the enemy team. They get the Sombra, but they don't get Toby. Where is Toby? Toby's just in the middle. Why is Toby just being left alone here? He's like the most important fucking target. And nothing can kill Toby. Toby survives, sound barriers, catches 4 people. Waka Waka, meanwhile, is busy running for his fucking life, just trying to survive without using resources, and then Lunatic High win the fight. That is a pretty fucking cool switch around. Not gonna lie, that's not what you would expect out of that team fight. Like, you don't start a team fight by losing your Zenyatta and getting EMP'd. So that was a mixture of mistake, I'd say, from Waka Waka, just taking like way too long and way too circuitous of a route trying to survive, and then just poor finishing, poor target calling from Konglu Panthera. And so Lunatic High get the point, and they've still got a fucking Sombra. They're still holding on to this Sombra that's just kind of done nothing except exert pressure. And so they still have the Sombra for the potential sound barrier because Waka Waka never got it off. This is crazy. This is absolutely crazy. Let's see. Eska. Oh, that's unfortunate. That is unfortunate. Runs out. Bonk. The Zenyatta orb. Oh dear. I have to go back. Get healed up. I can't push out there. Guido taking up position. This is fucking ridiculous. I remember watching this and just thinking, what is Void doing here? Like, what is Void trying to do here? Because the Winston jumps in, like, they see the Tracer. You can't miss the fucking blue streak going across the map here, right? This is fucking obvious. You can see it coming a mile away. And for some reason, Winston and Diva, and it's the Diva that really puzzles me, jumps into the enemy team's backline. And this is like, oh yes, here's my Zenyatta, please kill him. There's no way that the Zen is completely banking on getting a lucky hit on the Tracer. No Discord or on him or anything, he saw him go through, because you can see he's preparing for him. Half hit points, this is just leaving your Zenyatta for dead. Like, there's nothing he can do here. Meanwhile, the people have dived into a fucking EMP, get EMP'd, shock. I can't do shit. The Winston can't even ult. Although they don't finish him. Why don't they finish him? Fisher actually survives, gets his ult off and kills someone. That's not great. That actually isn't great at all. Because now this is Eichenwald, and this is the final point where people can still stall, and you had to spend ages killing a fucking Winston. It's giving people time to respawn. Oh, it's a bit of a layering of the supports. Wheels are falling off the bus a little bit for Kongdu, but because this is Eichenwald and respawns are kicking in, I don't think it really matters that much. Void throws a bomb up and gets a mech, which honestly, absolutely worth, especially on the final contestant point. Ryujie Hong swapping off the Zenyatta, going on the soldier to get back even faster and still provides healing on the point. They actually manage to start cleaning up. The wheels completely falling off the bus for Kongdu Panthera at the moment of a fight they should win, but they don't. Mostly because I think Guido is a beast, and Miro is a beast, and Lunatic High are fucking beasts. How do you... Okay, that's too far, we don't want to go back this far! How do you lose this fight? Okay. I think it's because they use both their support ultimates at once, and then they get a sound barrier. Yeah, Luffy and Waka Waka fuck up. Both use their support ultimates at the same time. Sound barrier comes out, and that just makes it possible for these guys to just start cleaning up and finishing up. Fisher goes down, people start going down all pretty much at the same time, and then they win. Simple mistakes. Tiny, 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 tiny margins of error. Tiny margins of error. But honestly, it's such a huge error to make that, like, the difference there between a stall and losing that point is just simply the two supports not going, I'll Transcendence first. Okay. That's literally what cost them that, like, the potential to stop that. And just to reset and buy themselves even more time. Such a narrow margin. Yonda! It's cute to me that the Korean voice actors do say some of the voice lines in their ethnic lines. Here we see cheese. It's time for cheese. Choo choo! All aboard the fucking cheese train. It's time for Torbrisa. So, I don't like this strategy. I don't like this strategy one fucking jot. This is a Torbrisa strat where you are completely dependent on trying to hack the health pack behind them and then just all staying in this tiny room, letting them take complete control of the courtyard. You could see Kongdu kind of suspect something's up because they're running the Reaper, and Reaper's just very good for smashing apart stuff like this. So if you are going to try and hold in a small room like this, Reaper's just going to run in and just smash it to pieces. But even if they just play the Sombra, what Esker's going to try and do is probably try and control as many health packs in the courtyard as he can. So he's basically, Esker's not looking to do anything too fancy, he just wants to deny health packs so that Rascal can't take them. But Rascal's going to build EMP eventually. Like, this is a stalling tactic. This is saying, we know we're going to lose first point, but we're going to try and hold like 2-3 fights, and then we're going to lose it, and we're going to have a ton of time left. Let's see how that works out for them. It's an all-in comp with the Ana, yeah. It's completely batshit in my mind. Like, because the camera isn't in the right place, we can't see the fact that Lunatic High are literally all in the Clockmaker's shop. Or just all around that area. Like, 100% playing around the Tourbillon. And you can see that Kongdu just, like, they don't give a shit. They just take the time, and, like, because of how Icon Vault's laid out, they all just stand over here, and then they just push in from this side. With a Diva in front of them. And guess what happens? They run forward. They kill the turret. And then they just take control of the point. And now it's just like, oh, now you guys are trying to push out of the point. Like, they have to push out of a tiny, tiny choke point into a Reaper and Winston and Diva. With Reinhardt Torbjorn. The Reinhardt manages to make it out, but the point's already been flipped. It takes them so long to get out of the door that the point gets taken. It's so... just... no. No! I promise you guys high-level plays, and it's just, what the fuck was that? Kongdu Panthera were prepared for it. They ran the Reaper into it and smashed it. Lunatic Eye now have to change all of their heroes. Ryujie Hong can probably stay on the Ana. He'll probably be okay staying on the Ana. So they at least have that ultimate, but now Toby, they have no support ultimates. So I want to highlight this difference to you. Okay, in terms of defensive support ultimates. These two, good to go. They will have these ultimates coming up in the next fight. Toby, fucking 0. EMP, probably good to go on both sides. And EMP plus Reaper, Koreans call this, well, the commentators at least call this the Talon comp, which is the Sombra plus Reaper. These two actually synergize extremely well because during EMP, you cannot defense matrix. Because you cannot defense matrix, Reaper can Death Blossom, and you can generally get a couple of kills off the back of that. So there's a lot of power sort of building up over here. Meanwhile, Guido just has to get started from square one on the Tracer. They're just completely, like, behind. Fisher can play aggressively on the Winston because he has ultimate, so he can do whatever he likes. Miro, however, cannot because he's had to swap off Reinhardt. It's basically, this is like, you know, we're going to try and play something cheesy and hope that it works because for some reason we don't think Kongdu Panthera can beat this reliably. And then we're just, if they do beat it, we just concede all momentum in the second point. All of it. Kongdu Panthera can, you know, the guys in blue can do kind of what they want. They had to put Nano onto Miro. And then it gets EMP'd. By the looks of it. Yeah, so Miro goes in, they just peel back. Like, you just catch the end of it. So they try and go aggressive. So what they're trying to do now is they know that they're behind, so they want to go aggressive and try and push Kongdu into using some ultimate. So they're going to try and take an aggressive fight. They put Nano Boost onto Miro, but honestly, Kongdu probably just speed boosted, ran away, didn't really give too much of a shit. They still have all of their ultimates available. Nano Boost wears out. They use their EMP, because honestly, why not at this point? They do actually get a single kill, but they don't use any ultimate still. Kongdu just playing disciplined, which I quite like. They're not using resources at the moment. They don't really need to, because their respawns are going to come in faster. The EMP as the bomb fucking connects. The bomb's coming in. EMP, no more bubble, dead. And then they'll just keep on pushing forward. Kongdu don't need to use anything. Kongdu need to do fucking nothing right now. They have respawn advantage, they have ultimate advantage, they just use an EMP, which is free as fuck. They use the Diva Bomb, which isn't a huge ultimate to use. It's like, it's a good pressure valve sort of release, but they're not going to need it for a while because they know that Toby doesn't have an ultimate. It's insane. And like Ryujie Hong now is back on the Zenyatta. He's not going to have an ultimate anytime soon because, well, he used Nano Boost, but he used it early on in the last fight, so there's a chance he could have built up a lot of it. Kongdu are going to try and keep momentum going. They're going to leverage their advantage, just put the sound barrier in and try and keep fighting. And you can see they're just keeping the snowball rolling. And they can even just keep this going. Luffy, if he's scared, can actually just trance this. Will just die instead. Okay. Looks like they're just going to reset. I imagine they're just going to try and get as much ultimate charge as they can and then just try and get back out. So they get the Winston ultimate, for example. Fine. And they're actually managing to push him off the point. What the fuck? Because Lunatic High have nothing to push back with. Like, Lunatic High have nothing in the tank, so even though they get the Zenyatta, there's just nothing to get that ball rolling. There's nothing to, like, put the car in gear. You know, there's nothing to just kickstart it because they're all scrambling to build up their ultimates. So, Waka Waka's ultimate, Waka Waka's sound barrier gets a little bit of value. They kill Zenyatta, who hasn't used his ult, but honestly, it doesn't make a huge amount of difference. And as such, Kongdu can just keep the ball rolling and just keep the pressure on without really giving two shits. It looks like they finally get it. That's not good. Now a little bit late. Yeah, no shit. That's 3 weeks too late, son. They should have just let that go. Like, they had such a huge advantage, and now they've just thrown it away. Luffy, what have you done? That's just a miscommunication from the team. This is where I think teams need to put value in, like, people who are dead need to call out how many people are alive and how many people are on the point, because this feels to me like a call of someone thinks it's winnable, and someone thinks the fight's winnable. It could be Fisher, for example. He might not have the best idea of what's happening in the fight, and so he's basically going, oh yeah, people are still alive, it's still winnable, and then Zenyatta scrambles in, and then they realize, no wait, it's just literally him. It's just Zen going, hello, and then he's gonna die. And this is a momentum shift. Lunatic High just got fucking handed an advantage. Because now Toby is going to be ready to go, although they are playing against the Sombra, so they have to be a little bit careful about it. Ryujie Hong, though, is also going to be ready to go. So unless EMP hits both of them, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to actually get value off it. This was really cute. I really like this flank from Rascal. He goes through here and he takes the bridge over here. You'll even see him. I think the camera goes to him. He's crouch walking up. Just gets the hack onto the Diva as the engage starts. Very, very cute. Beautiful EMP. They're taking initiative. Gets Eska. Eska was apparently out in the middle of nowhere, got EMP'd, gets killed. That means that they are now safe. If they had it, they would be safe to use sound barrier, but they don't. Unfortunately, Ryujie Hong doesn't get caught. Survives, trances. They can even sound barrier. They're going to sound barrier, secure safety. And they should just win now. They've used both support ultimates. If they don't win, that would be insane. Yep. So now they just hold it. Boyd did get a kill on Toby, which is quite nice. Yeah. Lunatic Highs just hold it. 2.5 minutes, plenty of time. Plenty of time. A coach is allowed to talk to the team during the match, not during the match, but between games. Yes. I think Apex has a pause as well. You can take a pause between games and have a team talk. Otherwise, coaches can't talk during the match. I know Counter-Strike has a really cool system where you can take a pause mid-match and then, or between rounds, and then the coach can come in and sort of start making tactical decisions. It's a really cool moment because teams usually do change how they play after that, which is always fun. Anyway. What's concerning now for Kongdu, let's think about what Kongdu will be planning. Let's think about how Kongdu are going to structure out the next fight. Waka Waka is going to be telling his team, hey, I'm on 92%, we're going to have sound barrier for next fight. But the Rascal should be informing his team as well that Eska went down very early, didn't EMP, but had ultimate. So they know they're going to be playing into an EMP. So chances are, if they engage, Eska is just going to be waiting with the EMP for the sound barrier. If sound barrier comes out, he's going to EMP it. What that means is that they probably are going to have to try and fight and force out either pressure on Eska, or which is unlikely, or pressure on one of the supports, mostly coming from Birdring and Rascal and Fisher. So these three are going to have to try and find some way to get onto the supports. And then put enough pressure on them where they have to EMP to just relent the pressure. Then Waka Waka can come out, get the sound barrier out, and they can finish the fight and win. Otherwise, if Lucio gets caught, they are in a lot of trouble. A lot of trouble. You see Birdring's looking for a route. Eska biding his time, completely out of the way, not going to get caught by anything. Taking it easy. Now, CCNM team going in. Unfortunately, gets smacked in the face by Winston. It looks like there's the pressure. Actually, looks like this might be a touch too early, actually. They might just be trying to burst out the two tanks, but honestly, I see this as being a bit of a bait. Luffy is dangerously low, but Waka Waka gets the sound barrier off. This is what they should be scared of, because now, in these early kills, the EMP's done nothing. EMP is like a very quick seize of advantage, and then while you have that advantage, you try and win the fight, because Sombra doesn't bring huge amounts of DPS herself, so you've got to try and just win the fight off the back of the EMP. Once the EMP is over, you lose that advantage. Sound barrier, if it goes off during an EMP, will just mean that the EMP is completely negated, so that just felt sloppy. I mean, it helps that two of Kongdu also just got kills on the way in, but this feels rushed from Eska. They dive in, and then Birdring gets the better of Guido, which means Birdring is now free to do what he wants. So I think he's going to go and hunt Ryu Jae-hong. Meanwhile, Luffy has found Fisher. Luffy's found Miro, sorry. Miro couldn't ultimate because... Why didn't Miro ultimate? I'm looking at Miro's health bar. Dropping lower, he's dropping lower. He's getting chunked. He's getting chunked to shit. I imagine he's probably on Luffy. And then he just dies. That looks like a Zenyatta headshot him to death. And considering I think Luffy had lost a bit of health, that looks like they just completely whiffed. Maybe they were expecting the EMP to hit Luffy and just blow him up with the EMP, which would have been fine. But that was terrible. That was terrible. So Lunatic High, the dive's not looking smooth. Eska not looking completely synced with his team as well. EMPing the tanks is viable, but not when they are holding on to support ultimates. And at that point, you know they're holding on to support ultimates. This is seizing initiative, so you can see they've taken as much ground as they want. They can go to this next last corner. If they are really feeling bold, they might even be able to push them towards spawn, but I think they're just going to take it a little bit easy. You can see Guido looking for an angle, just looking for something. Looks like he's got the Zenyatta in his sight, so he's going on Luffy. Unfortunately for him, Luffy has Trance. Doesn't matter too much. During that time, Birdring goes on to Ryu Jae-hong, who doesn't have Transcendence, because they have no support ultimates, and so they just start dying. Beautiful pulse bomb from Guido. Beautiful pulse bomb from Guido, but might be too little too late here. Miro finally gets use out of that ultimate, but looks like he gets stuck between two pillars and can't find his way out. EMP comes out from Eska. That might slow them down, but doesn't look like it's done anything at all. Because I think the people that are EMPing don't really give a shit. I think Trace is the only person who would really care. So EMP lands, and Birdring isn't even being pressured, and he's just hugging the pillar. So he's feeling fine. And Rascal didn't even get EMP'd there. And then the VOD staggers a little bit. I think this is on the VOD, not on me. There we go. Nope. Oh, there we go. They have EMP to finish out the map, and this should be an easy finish for them. Just going to focus down the Winston. They get the trance. This is a moment for them. They're just going to wait. You can see it again. They're going to use that big beacon of where Zenyatta is. Actually, no, they're just going to buy the time. This is actually scary for us, for Rascal. I'm just going to peel back after the trance because they've got to wait it out. Pulse Bomb misses. That's actually pretty big from Birdring. That's a big chunk of damage that could have gone on the target, which would have been important. Looks like they've managed to flush Rascal out of the high ground. Now Rascal gets a kill onto Miro somehow. It's happening to Miro. Miro jumps out. He's getting targeted down. Looks like he's just being has a trail of damage following him out. He's getting chunked down. There's not enough healing on him, and then he just gets killed. And Rascal's back on the high ground up here. D.Va is chasing Sombra. Kills Sombra. Okay, fair enough. Thank God for Guido, and thank God Birdring didn't manage to kill everyone during that time. Okay, fair enough. And looks like they will hold. Scary. Scary. Let's see. Okay. Lunatic High gotta be feeling scared though. They used a lot of support ultimates to hold on to this, and this is where Kongdu Panthera can just slow it down, take the time with it. Okay, what do we have? We have both support ultimates. Crucially. That said, they can assume that EMP is going to be available because it's EMP, so it builds up instantaneously, so that's going to be a problem for them. Lunatic High also have an ace in the hole, in that they have the D.Va Bomb. So if they start engaging super hard, they can put the D.Va Bomb down, buy themselves a little bit of space, buy themselves a little bit of time, get something done off the back of that. They know that they're behind in the support ultimates because they didn't see Kongdu use theirs. A lot of pressure right now on Lunatic High not to get picked. And I'd say a lot of pressure right now on Kongdu, specifically. Like, this is going to be a difficult dive for them because it is pretty much into a cul-de-sac. But if they just go super, super hard on the supports, they could probably win this pretty much instantaneously. Especially if Void gets the grenade, that could be GG pretty much immediately. Because then there's just nothing to save Ryujie, Hong, or Toby. That hack landed, that would have been huge. That would have been absolutely huge. Rascal gonna go in, gonna look for stuff, spots out the Zen. A lot of hurt onto him, but he has a health pack there, so he's fine. So they're using Transcendence on the point. Payload's moving forward, they could just fight on the point as happy as can be. You can see Zumba positioning aggressively, because he has the bomb ready. EMP comes out, but the enemy team's already disengaged, but they did get the D.Va. Sound barrier didn't get... Lucio didn't get caught, because Waka Waka just bided his time, took his time with it. There's the pulse bomb to cancel the ultimate. That is when you do start shouting, because holy shit, that might have just completely saved them. That said, counter bomb comes from Void. Gets Ryujie Hong. And there's still a lot of people alive here, but Defender's advantage is start keeping up for Lunatic High, and I don't think they have enough to finish off the D.Va and the Winston here. So I think Lunatic High should be safe here. They're even bringing out a May to stall it even further. It would surprise me if Lunatic High lose it at this point, because now their defensive ultimate's coming online. Well, Ryu's is coming online. And they should just win now. Yeah. That D.Va bomb was fucking huge from Zunba. Like, it cannot be overstated how much that saved them. It was the bomb that they needed so badly. Because at this point, right now, enemy team is engaging with a defensive ultimate. Like, they all have 600 extra hit points. I think Birdring just gets chunked down by Ryujie Hong, which is unfortunate. So he gets a little bit too cocky. But right now, unless something dramatic happens, Rascal is going to EMP. There's still 5 alive here, and they will just clean up on the point super quick. But this bomb comes through and just gets launched around the corner. Both supports come back around the corner, and they realize too late, and then that's game ending. Because now Lunatic High can play it slow on the point. They know they have the tanks up. There's not actually that much DPS on Konglu Panthera's team, so as long as they stall on the point properly, it doesn't matter too much. And so they can just keep stalling out as people come out, and they'll take the map. So, 1-1. Oh, what time is it? And now we're moving on to the next map, one of the Koreans' favourites, Anubis. Anubis is actually really fun to watch with Koreans, because they've been playing it for so long. The Temple of Anubis for Koreans is like way more interesting than it is in the West, and it was fun seeing teams like Rogue and Envious come back from Korea whenever they play non-Korean teams, like how much better they are at any of the 2CP maps really than any of their enemies. As this is on the VOD, not on me. There we go. Part of why I like Temple of Anubis is a huge Widowmaker map. Absolutely huge Widowmaker map. First point, Widowmakers can absolutely determine flow of the game, and I like any map where Widowmaker is viable because she's my waifu for Laifu. You think we'll be able to go over all of these? Probably not, but we'll probably get through a chunk of them. Sombra is also going to be huge on this. We've also seen a shift to offensive Reapers, again for that Talon comp, so you get the EMP out offensively and then Reaper ults on the point. It gives you that big slam on the point that makes you basically win the fight. Reaper can also keep regenerating on the point. He's just difficult to remove, he's sticky, so once he gets onto it, even if he's EMP'd, he'll just keep blasting. Excuse me, he'll keep blasting away and hopefully survive through the EMP. Konglu Panthera, opting not to go for a Widowmaker on the first attack, which I find interesting because honestly it's a very good way to just take a lot of space, instead opting to have the Reaper. Basically this first push you're going to see them go super aggro. They're going to play super aggressive, just get onto the point and then just make the enemy team come into them, which I think is actually a really nice strategy. Because the enemy team, like, both these teams are going to be suspecting Sombras. And so basically what you're doing by doing this is you're denying the use of the Sombra, because there's no time to get these packs, there's no time to get these health packs, because you've just got everyone stood on the point, and they can't come and challenge you on the point because you've got a fucking Reaper stood on it. So like, Winston can't, what's he gonna do? He can't get on there, he can't jump down onto there. And when he does, he'll just start taking shitloads of damage and has to get out pretty much immediately. Meanwhile, especially because you're running the offensive Sombra, if Rascal takes the health pack behind the point, you'll be fucking aces. Like, and you can see how sort of disjointed it all is and how tricky they're finding it. And meanwhile, Void, I think, was flying up, just stopping anything coming down from the high ground with Defense Matrix. They've got 2 ticks on the point, and they're just taking control. Now everyone's dropped down, Rascal can just go and try and contest the high ground. He's not going to do that for too long, I think. You can see, like, Lunatic High can't fight on the point. And anytime they trade, this is honestly good. And we've got a boost, yo. Feels real fucking bad, man. Now, Konglu Panthera can just kind of do whatever they like on the point here. Esker's forced into using EMP. That might just be enough for them to get it. Sound Barrier comes out afterwards. That might be enough for them to bounce back, because again, reinforcement's going to come in super fast for Konglu Panthera. If that Reaper can come back in, that'll be huge. And already you can see changes happening. The Soldier cancels the remech, that's huge. And they're going to hold it. Zumba is a fucking beast. This is why he's on the South Korean team. They actually managed to hold it. It's dicey though. It's dicey and scary. Now, the thing with Sombra, and this is why everyone in the pro community feels like Sombra is overpowered as fuck, is because even though Sombra used their ultimate last fight, she is going to have it for the next one. If you use a Sombra ult early on in the fight, and the fight doesn't last too long, chances are very good that people will take enough damage, pick up enough health packs, that you are going to have EMP fucking guaranteed for the next fight. So, Sombra EMP is a reality, not a choice. It is just constantly going to be going off in these. Meanwhile, on the offense, they have their own, which is actually quite nice for them, because they only need to take a third, which just basically means they can muscle onto the point and then do what they want. Lunatic High's positioning, super spread out. Really taking the time with it, just staying nice and spread. Meanwhile, Kongdu going to try and just find some way in. But they want to make sure that not everyone can get hit with this ultimate, so Ri Hong can just stay on this roof, Tracer can go and stay on that roof over there and then move around as necessary. Chances of EMP hitting everyone is pretty low, but manages to hit the core group. Doesn't hit both, yeah, so EMP actually hits the people advancing in, so it looks like they're just going to try and push them off the high ground. They EMP to counter this, but doesn't hit Reaper or the enemy Sombra. Sombra ults. Luffy should still be feeling pretty happy about himself, and because Rascal ulted afterwards as well, that means that they will control the health pack. So Kongdu Panthera will control the health pack in that high ground, which is huge. And now they should be feeling pretty good about moving on to the point. Where did Diva go? It's a bomb onto the Diva. So Zumba is scared, and I think Zumba just flew to the high ground, which meant that Reaper could just jump onto the point and Death Blossom and almost secures it entirely. Interesting. And we'll take it. So this is off like a single fucking play. So all this fighting up here is basically amounts to extremely little, which is kind of cute. Because Zumba fires off an ultimate here, and then gets sort of pressured down, but Luffy has to use Wraith Form. Gets back into the mech, Birdring just puts a bomb on the back of it. And that means that Zumba gets scared. Flies to the high ground looking for healing, which means that there's no defense matrix blocking him down here, so he just ults on top of Soldier 76, kills him, and now no one can come and contest his point. Like, Toby takes half of his hit points trying to do so. Zumba can't find any healing up there because the health pack got flipped and Rascal's still up there, so doesn't really matter, and so Kongdu Panthera just take the point. It just feels like they kept a level ahead, and Lunatic High just sort of got pulled around a little bit too much. Just playing full reactive. The silver lining for Lunatic High at the moment is that Kongdu Panthera had to use EMP to take the first point, so usually what you'll see, like the ideal situation is that you go into the next fight with your own EMP up on offense, and so you can go in and you can basically straight away muscle onto the point and start winning. That said, Esker had to use his EMP as well, probably didn't get it back, which is nice for Kongdu, because they probably also know that Lunatic High didn't have a chance to really build up on health packs, which means they probably have very low percentage, so there is a window of opportunity here for this team, most notably for Waka Waka. Depends if they want to risk it or not. The big thing for Kongdu right now is make sure they don't poke, make sure they engage hard, make sure they don't give the enemy team a chance to build up any health packs. That'll be absolutely huge. This is Guido, though, could be an absolute god here. Almost one clips the Lucio. Wouldn't have minded seeing the Pulse Bomb come out there. It feels a bit greedy to hold on to it. Looks like Miro's going to get a kill regardless. That is probably the end of this push, to be honest. You lose Sombra. Yeah, they're just going to pull back. They're not going to they're going to try and engage as little as possible, try and make sure the enemy team doesn't get any health. That was brutal from Guido. It's very nice to see. And they will continue moving forward. I love Korean snap zooms. Guido just going to be biding his time up here, waiting to hear where the enemy team is going. Probably just shove a pulse bomb in someone's anus. It works pretty well. I want to note, by the way, Kongdu Panthera is still with the Mono Support and Sombra. Mono Support and Sombra. Kind of interesting, isn't it? I find it interesting. BMP goes through, Ryu J Hong could go absolutely huge here. They point out that they're going this way. Guido looking for an angle, tries to get a bomb on the Lucio, fails. Feels pretty bad, man. Meanwhile, Luffy gets a kill on Esker. This is enormous. How did they get this kill on Esker? But the looks of it, it looks like they have managed to hack him. I want to try and find where this happened, because this is actually huge. Basically, removing Esker removes the threat of EMP. That frees basically what this means, because Esker will be removed. Waka Waka can now use his ultimate freely. Void can now defense matrix and appear and just do whatever he wants freely without worrying about getting hacked. And that means that basically everyone can do whatever they like. Rascal can appear freely and try and get his ultimate off. It's huge. So where did that happen? It looks like, yeah, they just chase him into the low ground. They just chase him onto the health pack. Because there's a Sombra assist there, I wouldn't be surprised to see if... because of the way assists work, I imagine that is actually a hack onto Esker. But it looks like they just surrounded the health pack. Like, they just went right for the health pack where they knew Esker would run, and then they just killed him. This means is that sound barrier goes off, everyone's still alive. Rascal's going to have EMP in a second. Hopefully. So he has it when they need it. Just going to try and hack the Winston, doesn't really work out. Both tanks are now on the point, just hacks, gets out, survives. So they can try and finish off on these tanks. Luffy goes down, which means that they're lacking for a lot of damage at the moment. Esker's now come back. Diva Bomb buys him a couple of seconds. Void is dead. And even before Void dies, I think you can see Ryu Jae-hong comes out and ults. Ah, EMP goes off, and then Ryu Jae-hong ults. So they know the combo's going off. So that's fine. And that should be that. What went wrong? What went wrong? Luffy died. If Luffy didn't die, that would have been an easy win. Because it was 2 EMP tanks just left to their own devices that he could just... He will kill them both, have Death Blossom, there will be no way to retake. Okay, like that was their window of opportunity. Now Kongdu are going to have a hard time, because now they're going to be fighting into an uphill battle, because Lunatic High are probably going to try and hold on to an ultimate advantage, non-friggin' stop. And anytime they try and fight down here... Oh shit, no, I remember this. I remember this. This was actually super clever. Lunatic High, like at this second, would feel relatively confident, right? I would feel relatively confident because basically everyone is fighting around the health pack that's been hacked. So any damage going in is going straight into the EMP bank. They have sound barrier available. Everything should feel fucking sunshine and rainbows right now. What is important to note is that they tunnel the shit out of the D.Va. They just go fucking balls deep on Zunba. Like, Zunba gets so fisted here. It's unreal. Everyone just completely annihilates him. Like, somehow all this damage just gets onto the D.Va. There's just nothing on him. That frees up the Reaper ult before EMP can come in, and then he just kills everybody. Before Sound Barrier can even land, Reaper's already killed everyone. It's just, I remember watching this and going, how the hell did he get that off? And they got it off by somehow just exploding D.Va. They don't have a Zenyatta, like, they don't have a Zenyatta. How do you explode a D.Va? How do you do that? The answer is, I guess, Reaper? It's insane. And they just take control of the point. Like, blink and you'll miss it. Blink and you'll miss it. And it's fucking crazy. Because there is no way that you usually see teams lose at this point, right? They bring it back, they're rebuilding their EMP, they have Sound Barrier available though, so if the enemy team pushes in, they can just use Sound Barrier, have a nice safety net, and feel pretty good about themselves.
Welcome to Overwatch, mon chéri.
Thank you, by the way, Valkyrie. Valkyrie 58. Awesome. Much love. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And then somehow, like, just watch Zumba's health. It's not like, you know, there's no pulse bomb, there's nothing, there's no big ultimate used. It's just damage. Because they only have a single support, and I guess they were cocky. I guess they didn't think that you could just explode a D.Va like this, because I didn't think you could explode a D.Va like this. Look at it. These big chunks going down, that's Reaper. And then the fucking second D.Va is out the mech, Luffy's hammered his Q button. He's hammered it, and he's just killed everyone. And then they just win. It's the narrowest of margins, right? Yeah, locate fucking, you know, it's plan making 101, but it's a plan that should not have worked. It's a plan that is crazy and daring and scary as fuck, because it's basically like Konu Panthera went, okay, what do we got? We have Reaper ult. That's kind of all we have. Okay, well, how do we get this Reaper ult into position? Well, we've got to get past the D.Va somehow. And they have a sound barrier. If either of those things happened, we're kind of screwed. Okay, let's just tunnel the D.Va and then see what happens. Like, honestly, I imagine that was their plan here. Let's just fucking go balls deep on D.Va. Get rid of the D.Va. If D.Va goes, then you just Death Blossom, and then we see what we can get with it, and then we just go from there. I honestly don't see there being much more of a plan than that. Like, they're just trying to get ultimates out of the enemy team, do something decisive, quick, high pressure. If they use Sound Barrier to save the D.Va, fine. That means that they'll sort of move into the next fight with the Sound Barrier advantage. They just got to be very careful about EMP. They're assuming probably that EMP is available to the enemy team, or will be available during the next fight. So, it's insane. It's crazy. It's so decisive, and it's like, holy shit, they got away with that. And I imagine they're just as stunned as I was, of just like, that worked. Like, somehow Reaper got a triple kill because they exploded a D.Va. D.Va's not a hero you traditionally just burst down, so they actually have a first-person view. You can see he just gets behind the D.Va, and they just annihilate him, and then he just, the second D.Va is out, he just presses Q. It's insanity. And the thing is, like, it sort of played into their hands because everyone is huddled around that little pack area, so everyone's sort of huddling around where the Reaper's going to ult, and it all sort of worked out for them. Right, we're going to see Lunatic High take a much more traditional approach to the attack. Don't be fooled by the Junkrat. Spoiler. But Esker is going to pick up the Widowmaker. Esker's Widowmaker leaves something to be desired. He's no Taimu. He's no Taimu. You can see, like, this to me is like a counter-Widow positioning. Where, actually, no, counter-Widow positioning is normally more up here. Where you can just jump around and get into it. This is just very safe positioning, where they're just getting ready to counter-dive something on the point. You can see that Reaper's probably hanging around on the point. Where's Reaper hanging out? Where are you, Reaper buddy? There's Genji. Can we spot the Reaper? I can't spot the Reaper. If I can't spot him, the enemy team sure as fuck can't. Maybe he's holding super close. Maybe they were just looking to maggot someone, so basically they're hiding in a corner and then they're just going to jump out. And it's probably Guido, judging by the damage output. They're all just hiding. But because Esker's uncontested, this has basically made this into a fucking scary, scary place to be for Kongdu. Kongdu know that they should be a little bit scared here. But they are running the Genji, so they have options against it. It looks like, yeah, they're all just hiding around this corner, so they're just going to wait for them to come around. This is an area where Widowmaker cannot fight. So they're probably just looking to get a kill or two in this area. And they fail in doing so, by the looks of things. Because D.Va exists. Because D.Va is a hero that exists in the game and just denies all damage. And now they're getting forced into fighting on the point, so Esker's starting to land shots. Because this is where Widow starts springing to life. And now Esker is literally just standing on the point. Or standing overlooking the point, and there's nothing the enemy team can even do about it. Misses a crucial shot on Lucio, misses another shot on Lucio, misses a third shot on Lucio. That's kind of rough. That's extremely rough. These are not shots that he should be missing. There we go, gets the Winston in the dome. Rascal is forced to ult, but honestly, this is way too late. It's just him on his own, so he kills Zenyatta, sure, because he has 50 hit points, but there's just nothing else left. Bit of a waste of a Sombra ult, to be honest. Never be Taimu ever. Look, I would take Taimu's aim. I would gladly take Taimu's aim. He can keep his personality, but I'll take his aim. Yeah. The fact that he used that EMP there is just nuts to me. Like, again, it's this slight sloppiness. This slight sloppiness that you don't want at all. Because that sloppiness means that now Lunatic High know that they have this fucking huge window where the enemy team doesn't have EMP, which means that Toby, who's going to have Sound Barrier up relatively soon because they won that fight pretty decisively, Ryu Jaehong is going to feel safe and secure and happy. It means that they know they can probably even try and contest this area and they can take control of this space down here. If they manage that, they can probably just win outright because they have support ultimate advantage. Lunatic High would be feeling pretty happy at the moment. Let's see how it goes for them. Okay, they're just moving in. You can see Rascal's already on 50% because Sombra. Tracer creating pressure on the point, like we talked about earlier on. Tracer is there to create pressure and just sort of poke around in angles. They get drawn into this sort of pokey battle, and then Esker gets nailed by Birdring on the Genji somehow. I think Esker's just in this clusterfuck of pixels. I think he tried to run off to the side and just got ganked. And that's honestly kind of bad news bears. Because the longer this takes, and this is sort of what annoyed me about this push, was that it was just too slow. Because now it's given them time, like, they're exploding out using these ultimates, but it's given time for Void to get his ultimate up, it's given time for people to get down here and take this, it's giving time for a response to start kicking in, so now EMP's coming out, Birdring almost has Dragon Blade, and like the advantage that they have is now fading. And so now to clean this up, Birdring has options available to him. Gets the health pack, can steal Dragon Blade if he needs it, but honestly, I guess they don't feel like they need it. They have Reaper on the point as well, as ultimate. They can sort of take the time with it. I also want to highlight how fucking adorable Tracer sounds when she dies in Korean. Did you hear that? That squeak? That's Tracer. The thing that sounds like a squeaky toy being deflated? That's Tracer. Ain't it fucking adorable? Ain't that the cutest noise you've ever heard? Korean Tracer is just far too cute. And to me, that was just like a smidge too slow. They needed to be that little bit more decisive and just trust in the ability of their supports to get these ultimates during the fight. Like, it's that, like, judder, that slow judder that meant that a pick happened, that meant that when they started the fight, they were down a man already. Then they start using their ultimates. Kongdu Panthera get a couple of their ultimates up because they had this long poke battle. Void gets a bomb on the point, which buys them enough time for the support ultimates to burn out, and then the support ultimates sort of count for nothing. And now that we have this weird advantage. Now we have this weird situation as well where we have the offensive Mei. This is not uncommon from what I've seen and heard of Korea. The offensive Mei is there to, I believe, to like block out shit like the Reaper. You basically are trying to just split the amount of damage coming in and trying to buy space for your team to fight in to get a couple of picks and sort of control the speed of the battle. It's also very, very difficult to win fights when you're fighting on the point and you throw a blizzard down, then like EMP is not going to do anything at that moment, so it's kind of tricky. If you can get your autograph signed by one Korean team member, who would it be? Ryu Jae-hong. I'm an Ana player, so he's like the god Ana. It's a beautiful boss bomb, but it's kind of all to no avail, right? They're all just trapped in this corner. The Mei wall did nothing. And Bird Ring goes in with the Dragon Blade, doesn't really seem to get much done with it, but swaps off it anyway. Like he spotted the Mei out, so I guess, you know, they don't need to stay on it anymore, honestly. Them swapping to a Pharah is fine. Like, what on this team is going to stop a fucking Pharah just floating around shooting people? And so, yeah. It's crazy. And so now they have the Talon Wombo combo, right? You have the Sombra Reaper available to you. And Reaper can just play it safe by this time. The defensive Reaper can just sort of do what he likes. Has to be a bit cautious of the Mei, but if the EMP hits, then he can just go in and sort of do whatever. So as long as Kongdu don't all get caught in an EMP, they should be feeling pretty okay. Kongdu also have a support ultimate to fall back on. As long as that doesn't get EMP'd, again, they should be feeling okay. Waka Waka probably playing relatively cautiously. Again, they're taking the same pathway, maybe hoping to get something done with the Mei wall. They just EMP in here. They don't even use the Death Blossom. Like, the cameraman is clearly fucking waiting for it. The cameraman is, like, the most blue-balled person since those images of Widowmaker I saw on the internet. Like, it's... As a cameraman, this is the most infuriating thing in the world, because it's like, they're all in fucking tiny location. They're all EMP'd, and you're just sat there going, just press Q, 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 just win the fight and press Q and look amazing, and everyone gets to see it. Just press Q. Okay, you're not pressing Q, you're just killing everyone. Okay, fine, whatever, fuck it. Great restraint from Kongdu Panthera. Like, they didn't need to use anything else, they just used the single EMP, and then during the process of that fight, Rascal's already got 50% of the fucking ultimate back, because Sombra. Because Sombra. Mei wall being cute and irritating. Now, like, to Lunatic High's credit, they are being extremely conservative with this. They're trying to just... Basically, what I think their plan is, if I had to speculate their plan, it's to try these pushes. Basically, you try and get in, you try and do a split with the Mei wall, you try and sort of get something done with the Mei wall that can enable you to get a couple of picks and maybe win a fight just without using resources. But the point is, they are not going to use resources. They are going to try and build up to get 6 ultimates, make the enemy team spend a couple of theirs, and then come in with a single large unified push. It's just, it's taking them so long to get to that point, and Kongdu are not falling for the bait. They are taking it very slowly, being very measured, being very restrained with their ultimate usage, and as such, it's working quite nicely for them. You see Guido going and causing problems on the point, but he's just being surrounded by like the Lucio and stuff. That said, uncharacteristically, Kongdu Panthera are letting them slip through and letting them sort of move on to the point, but again, they're getting bogged down in this tunnel back here. Like, every single time, they just get bogged down back here. And all this time, Rascal is building up his ultimate. Rascal's even trying to camp out the fucking enemy Sombra. This is EMP ready. There's no way that these guys down here are going to get any healing. EMP comes through from Rascal, so Eska can't use his. And Kongdu, again, let's see what ultimates they use, if they use any. They're just playing, again, playing with restraint. Fisher has to use his. Zumba actually uses his ultimate, which I think is a huge error. And that's it. And again, Rascal's already back on 40%. Like, Kongdu are just constantly luring them into this trap over and over and over again. And I want to point out, like, if Lunatic High stuck to the plan, if Zumba stuck to the plan, he would have Bomb available for the next fight. I think the reason why he might have used it is because he was worried that he'd be stalled out. So what Kongdu Panthera could do is if they just cleanly got him out of the mech and there wasn't a fight happening, they just sort of stall him out, so he used the bomb to get his mech back, knowing that he'd be able to just scoop it up and run away with it and it wouldn't be huge in the next team fight. So that's probably why he used it. Whether or not it was worth it, because there's nowhere to suicide on this map, so that's sort of the big problem. This wall is just stopping Reaper dropping down on them unexpectedly. Sealing Reapers. Reaper's just peeking. He's just creeping. Having a look. This is where Lunatic High need to get something done. Like, they have to do something now. You can see Rascal's already fucking got another ultimate. I'm honestly surprised that they didn't hack the health back in here, because the amount of times they've run in here is insane. They have Blizzard available, so they could get something done here. Sound barrier goes off. EMP is not available yet, and Ryu Jae Hong gets a kill. This is like the first shining moment that they've had. EMP goes off first from Eska. Does it catch Rascal is the question. I don't think so, but they use Blizzard on the point. This is going to shut down the Reaper. Reaper can't do anything. It means the EMP is going to have sort of no effect. It buys them a good bit of space on the point. They clear the point. They're starting to cap it. There's a counter EMP now finally coming out. Reaper going to death boss on the point. Diva has no defense matrix left, or has is hacked, so can't do anything. Cleans out the point because Reaper survived somehow. How the fuck did Reaper survive that? He was frozen. What the fuck? You have one job, May? Oh my god. I think... like... this should have died. This should have died, but Miro punches him away. And then I think he comes out of it, and then I think he just wraiths and goes under, picks up a health pack, and then gets back on the point. EMP goes out, he ults, and that's it. Remember yesterday when we were doing Coaching the Many with Winston, and I said Winston is the anti-synergy? Winston ult is complete anti-synergy. Winston ult is complete anti-fucking synergy. Literally cost them that push. If Reaper died there, there's no easy comeback. That was shocking, because EMP happens, but then it's kind of like there's no oomph, there's no punch, right? There's no finishing blow. It's Alright, let's see. And so Ryu Jae Hong swaps off the Mei. They know that Mei, like, they're not going to get another Blizzard with 50 seconds. There's no way they're getting another Blizzard. So they're going to have to run the Reaper instead and just try and punch through, basically. But Lunatic High, to their, Kongdu, to their credit, are just showing no fucking mercy. They have an ultimate available as well. They can take the time with this. Void is getting poked out. If they get the D-Mech, that's actually a nice little win for Kongdu. For Lunatic High, even, sorry, as I mix my teams up. So now they know that the enemy Diva is out, but they have no massive punch. They get hacked on the way in. They should feel okay about this, and they're not amazing. If they can get Zumba out of the mech, because they will be able to see that he has his ults, that'll be huge. There's everything's... This is, again, on the VOD. As we get a fucking slideshow. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Come on. There we go. It's just not enough wallop. How did Lunatic High survive this long? We may never know. As the EMP comes in, Luffy is fighting the Diva. How did Diva survive? Luffy had to run, by the looks of things, so I think Guido came in and forced Luffy to run away. And now they're all still on the point. Toby's now healing enough because he's solo healing that he'll charge super fast. Manages to get the sound barrier off, so everyone is now safe. EMP comes through. And now they can start the turnaround. Playing around a Diva bomb that they can just get on the point and get a new mech. And that's it. That should be a point take for them. Now, if I remember right, there's some god tier stalling coming up. If I remember right, there is some really beautiful stalling happening pretty soon. Luffy tries to go for the ultimate, just gets isolated. Maybe not. Maybe it's in the next round. So I think Guido literally saved that push. That and like, I'm sorry, it's in like frame by frame. I can't fix that myself. If I had to guess, because in this picture, there is a Reaper killing the shit out of a Diva. If this Diva dies, then they should just be able to clean this up. Like, the Reaper should just have no problem just shooting the shit out of everything. Next thing we know, Luffy is nowhere. And there's a Tracer here. So my guess is that they force the Reaper to Wraith and run. And pick up the health pack and then try and come back up. And so now he's back over here, but the window of opportunity's gone. Next part. Because of course this is new CP, so it's gonna go all the way. Why did Luffy ult? He could have Wraith for the stall. He probably tried to get surprise, if I had to guess. Like, just appearing and Death Blossoming can sometimes get you a kill before the Diva can react to it. Let's see. Kongdu. Again, you can see Lunatic High opting for Esker on the Widow. Again, nothing too atypical. Same team comps to what we saw before. Though I believe this time you're going to see Kongdu Panthera do an adaptation because they know that if they can sort of win the first fight, it's going to be a big rush for the second. So any sort of first fight advantage, they're going to really capitalize off the back of it. So I think, if I remember this right, Birdring is going to go super aggressive on the Widow this time. Now you can see last time Birdring was down here, he's not down there this time. So they see where he's going. They see where they're going. They're all kind of just scattered, trying to move to the point. They want to stay in this corridor, in the central corridor, because the Widow's going to protect them. Are they going to challenge Widow, or was I hallucinating that? Maybe I'm thinking of something else. Maybe it's a different game. Fisher getting called out, gets killed. Has no escape path, can't find a health pack, clearly. Birdring gets killed. This is terrible by Kongdu. I think they made the assumption that because they're going to fight in this space, they're going to have an advantage, without realizing that the enemy team has, like, everyone is here, and just shooting them. And Luffy, where is Luffy? Luffy is on 10% ultimate charge and hasn't shot a thing. Luffy is now only just now arriving, while the tank and the Genji are dead. That's just poor coordination. That's just so poor coordination. So it basically feels like Lunatic's High's attempt for defense was basically like, oh, we're going to see what direction they go, and then we're all going to just pounce on them, and then half the team pounced on them, and then they died, and then the other half of the team pounced on them, and then they died. Uncoordinated dives. Sombra seems to be picking up lately. This is Temple of Anubis. This is Temple of Anubis. Anub Sombra, I don't know. Anubra. She's become mandatory on this map in pro scene because there's a health pack literally in front of the point that you can play around non-stop. Okay, Lunatic High won that with such resounding fucking force that they can pretty much do what they want on the next push. The only downside is Esker had to swap. Ryu Jae-hong also not much on the ultimate charge, but knows that they only have 15 seconds. We can't stay on Sombras here, and we can't play around with like heavy DPS, so let's play double support and just try and win straight up. Rascal is sort of the saving grace of Kongdu Panthera here. We'll have EMP for the next push. If they can get something done with that, that'll be absolutely huge. There's the EMP on everyone in a nice tight spot. Is there a damage follow-up? Is there a damage follow-up? Is there a damage follow-up? Everyone's low. No one's dying. Because because no one's dying. DPS focus, that's a sign that DPS focus isn't right, because people should have died during that time, but no one died. Sound barrier came up, and now they're just going to take the point because they just bounced back because no one died. Killing people is important in Overwatch, guys. I know this is in-depth analysis here, but fucking hell. Why did no one die during this clusterfuck? Is it because Ryu Jae-hong did not get... It looks like, actually, if I had to guess, just judging from like the frame we see in this clusterfuck, this is what I'm noticing. The heal grenade is already up, which means that even if the EMP hits everyone, everyone's still getting a lot of healing from Toby. And that's going to make it very hard to finish all of these guys off. So they're all hacked, but they're all getting healed for a shitload. And then there's just not enough force to kill stuff. They just don't have enough. And then by the time they do start like getting stuff low, defense matrix is back. They can't finish anyone off anymore. Amp it up comes out as well, and then sound barrier comes online because they just healed up a shitload. Nero's so fucking low there. Bolts is fine. They get the point. Spoiler alert, they take it. This is where there was some god tier stalling because if I remember right, there's like a Lucio in this top corner for like 3 weeks. It might even be on the next point. So I think it was Toby who was just like hanging out in the fucking corner for ages. Welcome to 2CP. Play your clown music of choice. But because they have the Reaper on the point, like, this is why Reaper is so good. Because you just put them on the point, and then they're going to run out and contest it, and you just shoot people in the face. You see, it's still contesting. There we go. Waka Waka goes down finally. So another sound barrier comes out in the process of this fight. Almost got it, but hey, it's more contesting. Luffy might get everything. Let's see if he does. He's actually managed to kill a bunch, but Esker's just fucking murdered everyone, so it doesn't matter. Let's not keep trying to sing. There we go. Coming mostly off the back of a mistake on the first point hold, to be honest, and then just not enough, like, just slightly poor target focus, or just someone missed a shot and Reaper didn't die. Like, Reaper was on 2 hit points during that EMP, didn't die. Reaper runs out and kills fucking everyone with sound barrier on him. Let's see, do we have any moment at all to look at the defense here? No, we don't. We can see Lunatic High, they know they have way more time. Sorry, Konglu Panthera, no, they have way more fucking time, so they're not going to try. They didn't run the Widow before, so they're not running her now. Sticking with the Reaper as well. I've got to say, I fucking love this as someone who watches a lot of pro games. This is checking corners. Tracer goes in, she's checking corners. Look at this. Look at how good this is. Look at this fucking Tracer. Checks, 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 all these high ground areas. She's checking them. You're seeing if there's someone fucking hiding there. Please, pro players, please, for the love of God, do that more. Jesus Christ. It's frustrating as hell to watch pros run out and there's just someone stood behind them waiting to fucking kill them. Who are you rooting for? Lunatic High. I'm a Ryu Jae-hong fanboy. Surprising nobody. I want to note, like, with the team comps, Kongnu Panthera playing a team comp where they want to just get on the point and fight on it. Lunatic High adapting by just taking the low ground. They're playing with a heavy support lineup so they can just afford to take a longer range poke war and feel pretty good about that. They have all the healing to actually do that reliably, so that can work out for them. And so that's what they're doing, and you can see that it's working for them pretty nicely. Miro dies, which kind of sucks, but honestly, they just play long range, they play poke, they play it safe. They just peel back until they can't peel back any further, and they just use range and just shoot the enemy team to death. It's a pretty effective tactic. What strats? It's the amount of times a Tracer will, like in a pro level game, a Tracer will just crouch in a corner waiting with their guns. And then people will run past him, and the Tracer just runs forward, puts a bomb on Zenyatta's back, and you lose a push. It happens. It happens all the fucking time. Case in point. She was looking for it then. Guido was looking for it then. And then gave the game away by left-clicking. And then you see Diva spots it out. You can see the turn of the defense matrix, so he just recalls out. They know exactly where they are. They're just going to hold them in this corner. They know they control this health pack, so that if they stay in there, the damage is in their favor. Guido's probably just going to set up again and look for another chance to get that pulse bomb. This does give a slight window. If Guido's over there, he can't go and contest the point, so they're just going to drop down, but that means they're dropping down onto the EMP. Quite lovely for Kongdu. And it looks like they managed to push out before Guido can even get in position. So now they're going to start winning on the point. Their EMP comes out, but honestly, that's a bit too late. Though it might have been just in time. Beautiful pulse bomb. Beautiful pulse bomb, no, beautiful diva bomb, but hey, not too much happening there. Miro bouncing around the point. Any trades they're doing now could actually be paying off for them. It's a very even fight. Just looking at who's alive at the moment, I would say that Lunatic High should win this fight. Just because their support ultimates are about to come online. So if they need it, they can just Lucio ult now, and then they'll just stay in it. Worst case, they can just nano boost Miro, and that should be enough. It looks like they're nano boosting Guido instead. Interesting choice. Bit of an atypical choice. I'm not sure that was fully intended, but hey. This is why you don't nano boost a Tracer, because this happens. Spoiler alert, she still has 150 hit points, although she has a sound barrier on her. I imagine this was a misclick. I somehow don't think this was intentional, unless Ryu Jae Hong is just coming back from spawn. Miro's nearly dead, so maybe that's why the Tracer got it, and there's just nothing else that can get it, but... Ugh. Ugh. And that's that. Because Nano Tracer does nothing. Miro got focused a lot, Winston's get focused a lot in general. Especially if you're playing with a Reaper comp, but dive comps, like, the point of dive is you can turn on anyone at any moment, not necessarily that you can... Like, you're not necessarily just looking to focus squishies, but you can burn Winstons really fast. This is bold. That was a very bold Death Blossom, but Mei just completely fucked him up there. Nano Tracer or Nano Sombra? Nano Tracer is better than Nano Sombra. Tracer can at least move and get into range potentially, but neither of them are ideal. This was greedy. Like, honestly, Luffy has been so disciplined until now. I don't see the need for it. I'm guessing he's thinking that, oh, because the Diva's facing the opposite direction, he doesn't have to really give a shit, but then Ryu Jae Hong, like, look at this smug bitch. Look how smug Mei is right now. Like, she's even safe and tucked away in her ice block. She doesn't care. It's slightly wasteful, could have backfired pretty badly. It looks like it's still just gonna work, but honestly, they could have just left-clicked that to death and just maintained. Kongdo have done a good job so far, though. Like, 1 minute 30 left on the clock. That's not much time left, and if they can stall this Tracer out, that's even better. There we go. Defensive EMP comes out completely on its own. It manages to EMP everyone, but honestly, I don't think they really care. Yeah, this is what I remember. Like, just watch Toby. Just watch this smug son of a bitch Lucio just, like, never leave the fucking face of the Pharaoh. It's kind of ridiculous. So he goes and hides, and then he's just gonna keep on keeping on. He's just gonna keep on stalling. Like, look at this guy. Look at this guy. Look at him. He doesn't care. He doesn't give a shit. He's on the ceiling. It's fucking Spider-Man up there. Like, what the hell? What the hell? He's got sound barrier and doesn't get it off. Just managed to get him, but Ryu Jae Hong is still stalling on the point, because stall tactics are overpowered as fuck. In Overwatch, welcome to 2CP. Eska has another EMP. This might be what they need to clear it off. Let's see. Can they clear it off? No, because Reaper's on the point, and Reaper is sticky and just keeps shooting people. Pretty good at that. Kongdu still have an inkling. They're still capping. Something's still contesting. Because it's Toby. Toby's being a dick. Fuck you, Toby. Ryu Jae Hong doesn't make it to the point. You can see he tries to make the jump, and then doesn't make the jump, and they kill Toby in time. A Kongdu. give themselves a fucking lifeline. This isn't over, boys. This is Temple of Anubis. There is one attack left in it now for Lunatic High. Oh, is it one attack per side now still? No, I think Lunatic High have one attack. They have a minute still in the time bank. Yeah, it looks like the Tracer got killed on the way in by the Reaper. Oh, fucking hell. This is cheese. This is why, you know, when I highlighted that Tracer, like, spamming around in corners and, like, going whoop, 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 doing all that bullshit? That's why. You can see them setting up in that corner. Like, you can see them all trying to huddle in this corner. This is why the Tracers do this. Highlighting that there's no Reaper. That is kind of interesting. Actually, they're running double support. There's no Sombra either on either side, because they understand that there's not enough time for the Sombras for the build-up, so they're just going to run straight supports and straight damage. And this is where they actually turn. So this is what I was remembering. Where Asuka's running the Widow, and this time they actually turn because they have Rascal on Genji, Birdring on Tracer, and they just dive super hard on the enemy team and try and just stop them even touching the first point, which honestly works out pretty fucking well for them, right? Like, it's a cheesy strat, but it's a good one. In case of, like, we are just gonna jump the shit out of them and kill them as they come out of the spawn, give ourselves an easy first fight, get ourselves an ultimate advantage if it works, and then we'll be fighting them. They have 20 seconds to get on the point now, where they have ultimate disadvantage, so we can just start winning on the back of it. Question I have is, do they start suppressing Eska, or do they just fall back on the point? Looks like they're just gonna fall back onto the point. So they're just holding on to it. And they're going to just want to fight away from where Eska is at the moment, try and build up these ultimates, and probably just try and win off the back of those. So you can see they're all just playing it very, very safely. Like, they don't care. They don't give two shits about D.Va taking damage here. Fisher jumps in all the way out there on his own, which is kind of bad, because that means the Ana can't actually heal him, so he's going to go down. Right now, Seikongdu's Panthera's main goal is just to get Rascal's ult up. Get a nano boost on either Fisher or Rascal if they can, and then just win the game. Rascal's still alive. The Widowmaker is still suppressing, but everyone's just tucked away. And honestly, Eska, not the scariest Widow in the world. It's going to be very, very important, especially now that Sound Barrier's come out, to actually get onto this. Lucky for them, there's no nano boost. So this is just a naked Dragon Blade, or just a single Dragon Blade, but honestly, it's still enough to kill absolutely fucking everyone, and they take the point. And I want to highlight, like, this is the importance of Widow. He lands a shot there, but doesn't land a follow-up shot, doesn't land any other shots, and then the Sound Barrier comes through, and it's just like, there's just not enough kill pressure. They count the corner, why? Because, okay. This is, so, just take a look at the comp, like, just clear distractions from your mind. This is dive. Just dive with a Ana instead of a Zenyatta, right? So all they're doing is they know there's a minute on the clock, and so they want to burn as much time as possible. They also know that in the previous 2 rounds, Asuka ran this Widowmaker, so this team isn't actually that dive resistant. They've also seen that the enemy team likes to sort of split up a tiny bit and then sort of bounce back together and then try and take the high ground. So what they're going to do is they're just all going to stay together. And then in this first engagement, as they all start coming out, you see the Winston jumps up here. They spot the Winston out, they start shelling the shit out of Miro. Ryuji Hong's been found, and they just focus the dive on Eska and Ryuji Hong. Kill both of them. Well, they kill Ryu, and then the Eska's just been pushed out, is isolated by D.Va. They don't have to give a shit about Eska anymore really, and then they just play at dive comp. And so that gives them a huge time advantage, gives them ultimate advantage, and gives them all the edges they need to hold on to this next point. Because these advantages that they're getting, where Rascal is getting ultimate charge, 40%, Tracer 40%, you see the counterparts are only on 20, they're only on half that. Support ultimates, Waka about 15% ahead, Luffy a little bit ahead. All advantages, all small advantages, all born off the back of this dive at the start. Like, it's a really cool little dive. And, like, you can see that this little advantage in this first fight, rather than just, like, waiting and taking a more traditional normal fight, they just went in this super hard dive. The Dragon Blade is what turned it, right? And the Dragon Blade coming online at the correct point is what made the difference. This little marginal gain of, hey, we have this Dragon Blade now. We can actually use it. So they established themselves. They played a risky tactic. It could have just backfired completely if Lunatic High was decided to run Esker on a Reaper, for example, or they just ran a Reaper in general. Just ran in all as a big unit, and you dive on top of it, and Reaper just blows someone up. They lose the first point straight away. But because they've run Widow twice before, they know that, hey, Widow's quite likely, so hey, we can just go and dive that. And so now they've given themselves a nice easy task. They only have to get 1/3 on the first point in 1 minute 15. And Kongnu Panthera haven't been playing the Widowmaker strat before, so they run Widow now. It's a surprise. Also worth mentioning, Esker on the Sombra. Even with a minute 15, they're still lingering on the Sombra strat, which I find interesting. Oh. But Kongdu, changing it up, gonna run Widow. Let's see how it works out for them. So again, all they're going to be looking to do, snipe out, take control of this area, push in, take point. You can see, like, they spy out the D.Va. No one's here to challenge Widow. Widow has complete control of the high ground. They're just going to move straight through the middle because Widow's covering them. Get Ryu Jae Hong, that's a lot of healing done. Unfortunately, this is not uncommon on 2CP to see something like this. Just to highlight this. Basically, the Sombra will hack a health pack, stealth, run through, and then try and find the Zenyatta, who's usually at the tail end. It's mostly up to the D.Va, but they committed the D.Va to diving Ryu Jae Hong, so they're going to trade Zen for the Ana. Not too bad a trade, to be honest. Just because the Ana is going to be a bigger part of it. Miro commits onto Birdring, so gets rid of the Widow at least, but honestly they're losing control of the point at this moment, and if they do lose control of the point for even a second, they're going to really regret it. Ryu Jae Hong swapping off Ana, can't stay on it because they won't be able to get back, so going onto the soldier to sprint back even faster, because they know that the reinforcement distances are such that if they run Ana's going to be there like 10 seconds left to spare, it's not worth doing. Meanwhile, Lunatic High, just trying to maintain ground. Do have EMP, so they've managed to hold on kind of nicely. Miro going on the Widow was quite nice. Birdring swapping off it now, realizing that's not going to work. And all Lunatic's High's plan right now is basically like, let's bait them into a big fight on the point and just fucking EMP. Kill Luffy would be ideal. It'd be a nice easy kill. If they can kill the supports before they can come online, then they will basically win. If they get dragged into a super long fight, and the EMP doesn't get instant results, they are probably going to lose. Because they have mono support. So they're going to just play this slowly and then just wait for that moment, the crucial moment. That's a shit EMP though. I don't think that... Did that hit anyone? Did that just hit the wall? Esker? Hello? Question mark? Did that even hit the Winston? Yes, it hit the Winston. At the very least, it got Winston. It didn't get anyone else, though, I don't think. It didn't even get the bubble outside. So now it's everything is on Lunatic's High's shoulders just to fucking get a lot done. If Waka Waka gets his ultimate, they are fucked. But oh my god. Luffy has a fucking ult. He could be killing everyone. Miro's just running around killing everyone as well. Feels good, man, but now reinforcements are coming through. Fisher gets his ultimate. There's the sound barrier because Waka Waka's come back. Reinforced distances, playing a role. So there's still just not enough to finish it off. Just not enough. They're actually doing it though, because Ryu Jae Hong is a beast. Oh my god. Oh my god. Fisher died with 3% left on his ultimate. Look at Fisher get drilled. Just look at this guy's health bar. Okay, look, I'm looking at this. Look how much health he has. He's so close to ultimate. If he gets this ultimate, he can just stall on this point fucking indefinitely. Like, no problem. But look how fast he dies. Oh my god. Ryu Jae Hong, Guido, and Zunba, I think, all shooting him. And he just melts. This is why I get really frustrated when I play my games and there's a Winston bubble and it seems to last 3 fucking years, because that was about 1,000 hit points in about 2 seconds. Just fucking insane. Oh my god. There is no way they should have fucking been able to hold that push. Like, Soundbarrier came online, fucking Winston Ult was about to come online. If the Winston Ult came online, it was over, because they would just stall it, and then reinforce distances means, you know, you can't reinforce from second point, Temple of Anubis. Right, next map. Just gonna keep on going with these, because holy shit, I'm having fun, hopefully you guys are having fun. Hopefully you guys are enjoying this, let me know if you are, let me know if this is helpful, if you guys are enjoying pro level play. We're back on King of the Hill. Game mode I prefer much more than 2CP, much more interesting. Going to be interesting to see what the team lineups are going to be. I imagine it's not going to be too different from these. So this traditional dive. This is more like a pokey dive. Tracer going to be super important on these maps. So let's just go back to highlighting these tracers. Tracer is going to be very important in sort of finding space. Sombra, not impossible on this map. It's like one of the few maps where you can do it. If you can take control of the health pack, you can actually really start dictating the flow of the game. The danger here is that because Kongdu are running dive, they could just fucking mince someone. Best of one decider map? Ah, okay. Yeah, tiebreaker. Apologies. I'm not a big fan of the Sombra. I'm not gonna lie. So it looks like they're just gonna play around the balcony health pack. Which, could work out. Honestly, this just gives Kongdu so much fucking control. Like, they have so much space now. It is very hard to commit on them here, though, and they are getting a lot done on that Zen. Holy shit, Luffy was lucky to survive that. Looks like they're just going to engage on it. If they get a good boop, I would laugh for days. 4 fucking days. You see how much Guido's doing? Like, how much pressure Guido is peeling off here, and, like, how much work he's getting done. Where now, like, 3 people have just pulled off because of him. Like, everyone is up here on this high ground, and just because he's going in on the back, it's just peeling away layers. I would honestly be happier if you just went and killed the Zenyatta here, though. Like, Zen is a tasty, tasty fucking treat. And it looks like he considers him and then spots the Discord orb on the D.Va, so maybe there's a focus call for the D.Va. But honestly, the Zen would have just been free. Actually, that gives Birdring a chance to go and hunt him down. That's actually a big loss, because now Birdring is free to do whatever he wants. There's no like Tracer to match his movements and pressure away from him. The downside here is that because Lunatic High are so clumped together, it's going to be very hard for Birdring to find an opening. And it looks like instead of staying clumped together, they decided to scatter to the 5 fucking winds, and they're going absolutely everywhere. See what Birdring is up to. Let's see if we can try and keep an eye on the Tracer. It's going to be difficult. Coming back now with a recall. So it looks like the DPS focus was called on the D.Va. Are they going to go Baby D.Va next, and then probably Lucio, or Lucio and then Baby D.Va? And sure, Eska has this, and oh my god. This is fucking insane. This is beautiful. So he gets the bat off. So, you know, we're going in. DPS focus called on the D.Va. Then they're just going to start cleaning up on these targets. So it's like they're going for the Lucio first, then going to get Baby D.Va done. So Lucio goes down, Baby D.Va. This fight is done, by the way. Kongdu Panthera have won it. Eska has EMP. He gets batted off, but you see the translocator go through, and it clearly Fisher also saw it, because you notice he jumps this way and goes over and then just hits him again in the air. Gives him a slap on the ass and off you go, no fucking problem. What a legend. What a fucking legend to have the foresight to go, okay, I've knocked him off, there goes a translocator, I'm going to jump this way and then hit him out the sky. Like, it's like a fucking volleyball spike, you know, he's hit him in the air and then he's jumped over and just smacked him down. So good. So good. My teams can't even grasp the concept of a translocator. Object permanence is hard, man. You know, she was there and now she's gone. That means she doesn't exist anymore. Birdring putting pressure out, that's unfortunate. This is again what you want to see out of your tracers. You can see that the tracer is literally on her own here. And she's just pressuring. She's just looking for angles, looking for pathways, mostly to the Zen, because it's the easiest target to focus. And just trying to put pressure down. Unfortunately, the pulse bomb gets eaten, but honestly, I don't like... this happens. Birdring doesn't really give a shit. He's buying space for his team to get stuff done. These guys at the front are hopefully getting work done. It's a good EMP. Good follow-up from Guido. Apparently my Microsoft account has a problem. Who knew? I did. I don't give a shit. So very, very nice start on the back of this EMP. Konglu Panthera probably just going to let this fight go. Hopefully not going to use any of these support ultimates that they have. They know that they've been shitting all over Luffy, so they probably know that Luffy hasn't been a big part of anything for a while, so probably won't have that ultimate. They're going to have 2 ultimates available. This is honestly... should be an easy fight for Lunatic High coming up, because Luffy was just nothing in that last fight. He just died immediately. For Kongdu, it's going to be a matter of, like, it's close enough. So I imagine actually they probably do suspect that both of these are up. So Kongdu should be feeling alright, because they have Dragon Blade. And so what they're going to be looking to do is probably... so they're going to want to set up the Dragon Blade, right? The way they're going to do that is they're going to play their dive comp and just go super, super hard, probably onto Ryu Jaehong. So they're going to try and get a sight line on Ryu Jaehong. Try and gank him. Force him to use the Zenyatta ult. Okay, that starts the timer. They're going to use Sound Barrier. And then after that ult is done, Toby's going to have to use his ultimate. Pretty likely that he's going to use both of them. Otherwise, they're just going to keep pressuring Ryu Jaehong after the Sound Barrier, after the Transcendence is done and kill him. They're going to have to use both of the ultimates, then Luffy's going to have to use his ultimate, and then after that, they're going to get the Dragon Blade. It's a lot of resources, but honestly, it's how I see it going. The one thing, the spanner in the works here is Zunba could just throw a bomb down and just, like, completely stall it. So they could play around the Diva Bomb here. Looks like they're actually just going to throw the Dragon Blade in. So they just throw the Dragon Blade in to get the ultimate, okay. And now they're going to chill. They're just going to relax. And then they're going to probably just play with double support ultimates afterwards and just force it. So there's... Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Wait. Please, 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 please. Oh my god. Oh my god. The reason why I was confused is you trade Dragon Blade to get their support ultimate out first. And then what you do is you just chill, and you know that you have 2 support ultimates, they have 1. So then what you do is you re-engage after the Transcendence is done, you use both of your support ultimates, one at a time, crucially, one after the other, okay? Very simple. They only have 1 support ultimate that lasts 5 seconds. You have 2 support ultimates that gives you 10 seconds, let's say. And because you have 10 seconds worth of support ultimates, you win the fight. Now, by some fucking miracle, they've still managed to win this fight. How the fuck did that happen? Because holy shit. We've gone too far back. My apologies. Did we go too far back? I don't think we did. What the... I am now completely lost. I've completely lost the plot. I'm sorry, that was so... There we go, this is where we want to be. So, like this, okay, job done. We Dragon Bladed and we got the support ult. Fucking great. Okay, let's get ready. Okay, now we've used our sound barrier. Great! We've used sound barrier. Oh, and we've used fucking Transcendence? What? Looks like they maintain the focus on Ryu Jaehong, get the kill on Ryu Jaehong before Toby can get the sound barrier on it. But sound barrier only hits Toby. No, it hits everyone. Okay, fair enough. They ball up, and I guess because they don't have the Sombra here, and Konglu Panthera have 2, like, actual damage-dealing heroes, they just win the fight. Miro even uses his ultimate. I don't think Fisher has to use his at all. And Luffy can just stand back and do damage, maybe? They even EMP and still fucking lose? What? Konglu Panthera fucked that up 6 ways from Sunday and still won the fight. And Lunatic High even spent more resources. This is why I don't like the Sombra comp, guys. I don't like the Sombra comp. What? That was Lunatic Highs to completely fucking shit stomp, and they didn't. The beautiful pulse bomb. This is again power of Tracer. This is why Tracer's so good. She can, this push is now done like dinner. They're just gonna kill everyone. And honestly, this is actually so nice for Kongdu Panthera. Oh my god! Like they for some reason like seemingly like going out here. Stick goes on, kills Toby, and then everyone just like goes down to low hit points. So now these supports are gonna have ultimate advantage out the fucking ass because Toby Ryuji Hong died so early in the fight. You can see these guys are just gonna like look at all this healing. Om nom 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 nom. Om nom 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 nom. They're gonna know that hey, last fight, like not like before the fight, the previous fight, they used both of their support ultimates. They no way that they got support ultimates now. We're going into the final fight. We have 2 support ultimates. We have Dragon Blade. We can fucking do whatever we like. They're gonna probably just go with Transcendence, Dragon Blade, dive the backline, kill Ryu Jae Hong, win. And they can take initiative and do it, and that will even stop Eska from doing shit. So they're just going to play aggressive because they can, because they have ultimates to do it with. They even get Eska dead. This is even safer now, and just ridiculous. And now, basically, Lunatic High, if they are coming up with a plan, it's basically like, get ready to touch, hope that Eska can get back in time, hope that the EMP cuts down enough of their aggression, and we can actually win, but we just got to try and wait as long as possible to get Eska back in. They're not waiting. Kongdu don't have to wait. Dragon Blade comes out, kills one support, kills Eska before he can even EMP, kills Ryu Jae Hong because there's just no defense against this, and then that's it. Rascal, easy. Easy, 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 easy. Like, I don't like the Sombra comp. I don't like it. I do not like it. Okay. Tons of pre-match entertainment as we go into Watchpoint Gibraltar again. Another map that hasn't been seen in the West for too long, in a while. It's not in the World Cup, so who gives a shit about it? Very fun map though. Very interesting map. Oh god, that Kongdu Panthera almost threw that in, like the biggest way imaginable, and somehow pulled it back. But you can see it's all support ultimates. It's bouncing between support ultimates. It's like it's playing around. What do we have? What do they have? Okay, how do we pressure them into doing things? It's setting up sequences of events. Just a sequence of we use this, therefore they have to do that, therefore we can do this, therefore we can do that. Like it's just setting up these simple sequences. They're never super complicated. It's we'll push in from this angle, try and put pressure on this, get this done. It's never, you know, a case of, oh, if we flank here with this specific moment, we're going with this specific timing at so-and-so o'clock. And then we distract them, and because the phase of the moon is here, then this pulse bomb will curve at this point. It's never that fucking complicated. It's more, let's just try and get this pressure on this target so that we can get this aspect done. This was interesting for me to see, because this was baffling to me to see. Because, holy shit. May Reaper offense. When I saw this, when I was first watching this, I just sort of thought, how the fuck can this work? How can this work? Because all you do is you stand on the high ground and you shoot them. What can they do? You see that they have May Reaper, and you put Soldier 76 up here, you can put Zenyatta over here, you can put Ana over here, and they all just shoot down, and you never leave spawn. And you never leave fucking spawn. Let's see how Kongdu Panthera fix this. They put a great big fucking wall up and then just march the payload underneath. And they force everyone else to come down and play with them. An Ana grenade lands, but the kill doesn't come in fast enough. Fisher just survived, so the counter Ana healing starts coming in. Payload still rolling forward, and they're pulling them down underneath. But you can see Lunatic High can just stand on the high ground. They can hopefully identify... That's a Reaper and a May. If I just stand up here as Soldier 76, they can't do shit. And there's even May providing high ground for Eska to stand on and shoot people. And now they're just stuck. Now they're just stuck in here. Like, they're just fucking cornered. They can't do anything. They can't leave. Miro's just gonna farm ult off them. Tracer even throws a fucking bomb in there. It was an interesting attempt, lads. but I'm not 100% sold on it just yet. I mean, the Mei wall fucking blocks the Ana off, almost kills her, but hey. And they're staying on it, by the way. They're sticking with it. In my mind, Soldier 76 just needs to stand on the back area, just needs to stand literally where he's headed to now, and then just shoot down. Just shoot people. But hey, the wall-offs are good. Throwing those like targets. Unfortunately, the person who walled off was a Tracer, and so Tracer's just fucking gone. She don't give a shit. You gone, bye, loves! Toodaloo, loves! We're out! And then everyone's just standing up here. Like, what can threaten them here? It's just... And so the solution to this is just to try and wall it off, and then they end up walling off their own fucking Winston. Which, this is just like, oh, fucking hell. Like, the only thing that could really deal with all these people is, okay, we nano boost the Winston, and we send Winston in, and Winston clears all of these fuckers out. They do two plans at once, where they wall off the high ground, so the high ground can't shoot them. They just elevate Soldier 76 higher, and then wall off the high ground, so that Winston just goes... And a replants the sleep dart, does fucking nothing. Eska drops down for some godforsaken reason. Diva Bomb is good. Honestly, I think Eska dropping down there seems to be a bit of a mistake. Winston getting isolated. Miro needs to just jump and jump and jump and jump and get the fuck out of there, because this is a team. You don't want to get close to this team, right? If you get close to this team, they're going to fucking kill you. But the beauty of Watch Point Gibraltar is there's a shit ton of high ground you can just stand on. And you just keep sending Diva down. Diva goes down, touches the point. Easy. For some reason, they all just go and stand in the blizzard. It's cool, I guess. It's the cool thing to do. Kappa. Zumba gets a bomb off, though. Like, the blizzard doesn't even do anything. It just forces them to use bomb. And then Ryu Jae-hong just gets a fucking fatty double kill. It's... There is a method to the madness, okay? The idea of, we're just going to focus on pushing the payload, block off the enemy, and push the payload as best as we can. And just keep shoving it, and 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 just keep that train rolling. Like, I think that's the plan. If I had to guess, that is the fucking plan, right? You put walls up, you block out their source of damage, they defend from high ground because they have range advantage, you put walls up, you stop them shooting at you, and you push the payload. The problem is in the execution, when you wall your own Winston, who can create tons and tons of space for you. Like, the Soldier 76 wouldn't be able to do anything, the Ana wouldn't be able to do anything, the Zenyatta wouldn't be able to do anything. Assuming the sleep dart doesn't land, which it did, unfortunately. But then Mei walled their own Winston off, and it's just like... It's special. Everyone's clumping up here. Like, they're just trying to get their shit sorted. This is giving Guido time to just find them, put a bomb on them, easy kill. Pushing them even further back. And yeah. Yeah, and if they're trying to contest, they have Reaper and Mei for close quarters. Yeah, if you, like, but the danger there is that basically what Lunatic High can do is if they have Winston and Diva on the high ground on blue boxes. If you aren't aware of blue boxes, you can see where the Diva is now. This is blue boxes. Like, up here, there are two blue boxes, right? Even draw them in blue. So I've heard people call this blue boxes, and I like calling it blue. Okay? It's like the two blue boxes up here. If you just sit Winston and Diva up there, and then as they push the payload around this corner, Diva drops down. Blocks it for a second or two, rockets back up. After that, Winston drops down. Blocks it for a second or two, goes back up. And during all this time, Ana is stood over here, just healing these guys. And then after a moment or two, Winston drops down, and then gets nano boosted and kills everyone. Like, or Soldier 76 gets nano boosted and kills everyone. Like, you can buy enough time by just rotating these two tanks, the Winston and the Diva. You'll see people do this on Dorado as well, where you have these two tanks dropping off high ground, coming back up, drop down off high ground, come back up. All that kind of stuff, just rotating it non-stop. They stop doing the gimmicky shit. They send in the Winston this time with the nano boost. Miro's asleep, can't do anything. Transcendence is a touch too late as people go down, especially Ryu Jae-hong, which is a massive source of healing. Soldier 76 can just run around and shoot everyone. They suddenly change to a normal fucking team lineup, and hey presto, what do you know? They just shoot the enemy team and win. Shooting the enemy team and just fucking killing them works very, very well in my experience. She's helping. Mei's just trying to help. Do we have, like, people who believe that Mei is Bae in chat? Are you these kind of filthy people that believe these sorts of things, these scandalous statements? Because Oh. Ugh. Ugh. Chinese weather woman. It's terrible. Terrible. You have like this fine French cuisine that is Widowmaker available to you, and then you have Chinese takeaway, which is May. Come on now, be reasonable. I would respect you more if you preferred Diva, for the love of God. Anyway, Sombra is base. Sombra is actually a fine choice for Overwatch waifus, as is Soldier 76. Okay, let's serious up for a second. Kongdu Panthera are feeling pretty fucking great at the moment because they're pushing through with every ultimate on the planet. They don't have Nano Boost, but honestly, they don't really give a shit. They used it to break through the first point. They're taking tons and tons of ground. Their objective right now is to clean up spawns, take ground, and get this payload moving as far as they can. If they can get Rascal on the high ground, then fucking aces. Otherwise, they're feeling real fucking safe at the moment. Toby also now on the Zen. Was he on the Zen before? Yeah, he was on the Zen before, but he used Transcendence last fight, so they don't have a defensive ultimate on the enemy team, so if they can get rid of a Diva, if they can get rid of Void for a second, then Eska can... If they can get rid of Zunba for a second, then Rascal can come out and kill absolutely everyone. Birdring pressures down the Zen, like, just spotting out targets. They clearly called out where the Zen is. They can see this defense matrix going on him for a second or two because Rascal poked out, shot a shitload of damage onto Toby. They call that Toby is low in the back. Racer knows where he is. Boop! Easy kill. So now there is just nothing defensive ever possible for Lunatic High because, hey, they have Ana Zenyatta, so you don't have that defensive advantage. Nano Boost goes onto a Winston. Winston has a snooze. Rascal can just run around and shoot at people and take complete control of the high ground here. No issue. Like, they are in complete control. Kongdu could not be happier at the moment. They even use Lucio Ultimate just to make sure. When you lose the high ground, yep, it's episode 3. It's the parable of episode 3. Lunatic High! Don't try it, I have the high ground. And then, yeah, and they just control the high ground long enough. They can't even get back in. By the time they do get in, points are already flipped, and now they're going to do the same thing, just try and snowball it. You can see Zumba's suiciding. They even fucking put the Nano Boost on him. I'm honestly surprised by that. They're just going to push them all the way into spawn. Like, this is going to literally be 3 people, maybe even 4 people standing in front of the spawn, and they're just going to take all the ground they can. They've got Birdring on the fucking Widowmaker. They're just going to try and put her on the high ground back here, and then just take as much ground as possible. Like, this is a complete land grab, and it's actually very, very cool. It's just pure aggression. Because basically what's going to happen now is Lunatic High are going to have to push really hard just to get out of the spawn. They are committing resources, they are using a lot of defense matrix, they have to jump Miro in just to get out of spawn, and they're just diving into Widow, and Widow's just running away. Looks like they are getting results off the back of it though. Now they're throwing Soldier 76 ult because they got the D-Mech. So Guido clearly chased down Void. Where was Void? I think Void's on that high ground over here. And then just gets hunted down and killed. They use Soldier ult for it, and honestly, I think Lunatic High just go, okay, and then just back away and regroup. Gonna be interested to see if they stick on the Widow or change it to something else. Swapping to the Tracer. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, it's... The idea is that you just put Widow up here and then you just try and camp out the spawn, but they, Lunatic High pushed out very aggressively, managed to get onto the Diva, that freed up Eska, and Eska cleans up with an ultimate. Kongdu Panthera just sort of back away though. Luffy... Whopped off Ana. Okay. No, that makes sense. Especially if you're swapping onto a Tracer. I prefer the Zenyatta here. Who are the favourites going into this game? Lunatic High, I would say. And spoiler, Lunatic High ends up winning. So... what are Kongdu's Panthera's objectives? They're going to try and get some control of the high ground, but again, they're going to be looking for opportunities to put pressure on Toby in particular. If they can get this defensive ultimate out and then get one of their own, they're going to be feeling pretty fucking good. Eska drops down, almost gets pushed out. And then they actually do manage to get Toby's ultimate, which is good. I don't even know what signals Toby to use his ultimate. Toby's fine. Ryuji Hong's going down. Okay, so Ryuji Hong gets found and focused. What finds him? He's on high ground. Diva knocks him off. Okay. Diva knocks him off and he's forced to grenade himself, and then Toby basically goes, oh shit, they're gonna kill Ryu. I have got to Transcendence this. Kongdu Panthera back away, because they have nothing to answer this, and they know that the enemy team has no defensive ultimates now. So now they're just got to try and set up with some sort of offensive push, probably with Rascal, just make sure that Rascal doesn't die, and then they're just going to push in with Vita and win. Nice job by Guido, though, to save his team. Again, Tracer is like the pendulum. She's the agent of chaos in the system, where she can just turn situations that are looking dicey on their head. Tracer comes in, stops the push happening by just getting a quick kill onto Luffy. Nice. Why don't pros run Genji anymore? They do, it's just that Koreans, especially in areas like this, will tend to run Soldier 76. Koreans prefer Soldier. So when you're playing Genji, Tracer, Winston, you are more aggressive dive. You're more like looking to go super hard. You're looking to like put a shit ton of pressure onto the enemy team. When you're playing Genji instead of the Soldier, you're more you're looking to go super hard. When you're playing Soldier instead of the Genji, it's more about poking, creating an opportunity, making the enemy team use their resources, and then you go in super hard, and then you find the precise moment. So it becomes very much about cooldown management. Can you force the enemy team to use their cooldowns? Can you make the enemy team do things, react to your damage, and can you then just edge out ground and take ground away from them? And then you sort of play reactively off that. And Koreans just seem to prefer this style, basically. You can see Guido is just looking for a way to even things up. He has a pulse bomb. He's just flanking around. He's going to probably be looking for this chappy. And if you can get the bomb, on Rascal, that'll be fine as well. Looks like Miro's just found him with a nano boost. Like, this is actually really nice from Lunatic High. They are not giving Kongdu any space to breathe. And that's meant that Toby's got another ultimate out, which means that he can use it after Luffy uses his. When did Waka Waka use Sound Barrier? Like, he used Sound Barrier as... Oh, shit. Time for a Kongdu. Support Ultimate Fest. This... The second Rascal died here, they should have known. They should have just fucking known that this push is not going to go anywhere. Maybe they suspected that Toby wouldn't have an ultimate, so they could just fight with the Transcendence and just get something off the back of that, but Toby just waits out the bomb and then just goes in with his own trance, and Lunatic High are completely safe. They're even going to ult. 12 seconds left in it. There's no time left anymore. You can't do anything. Rascal comes back out. Gets focused down and killed. Maybe it's because they thought they wouldn't get another fight out of it. I guess that's the reason. But this is like such nice pressuring out of Lunatic High. They know where the threats are. They know sort of the big thing that can kill them. And they win from like a support ult deficit, where they just send in the Nano Monkey and then Kongdu don't react to it or don't respect it enough. They lose Rascal and they lose. Do you think a Roadhog 6-second ult would change the way dive works? Not until Roadhog can one-shot dive heroes. Roadhog against Tracer right now is just so, like, you can't play Roadhog against dive. The Tracer will just farm you all day. And Roadhog doesn't bring enough to the team, doesn't kill Tracer reliably enough that no. Never. Never, ever. Especially against these Tracers. Miro just fucking flattens Luffy, and there we go. Very well done by Lunatic High, to be honest. Very, very well held. Considering they were on the fucking ropes, and they just gave Kongdu no breathing space. Kongdu could never get the ultimate combo that they needed out, where they literally had all these advantages. They just had to get that one opening, and if they can get the support ultimate and soldier ultimate in the right place, they would just win. Never got the chance. But they now have to push it through first point on Point Gibraltar. So, how did Kongdu's defense go? And we'll probably finish up on this map. Let's see what they're running. They're running the offensive Sombra. possible on this map. There's enough health packs along the way that you just take the health packs on the way and then you use it to sort of win that final point. Fisher, hanging out in a sneaky spot. It's being all sneaky beaky like. No one even knows about the Sky Gorilla. There's the Sky Gorilla, he drops down. So, like being in Australia with drop bears. Drop bears! Mate. Doesn't really get much done. You could have won the Sombra there, but Sombra just backed out. So she's fine, she's feeling good. Now they're pushing underneath. Right now, I'd say team objectives are relatively simple. Eska is honestly should be feeling pretty happy right now. He's going to take the health back down here, and then they're just going to slowly make their way out. Nothing too fancy out of either team. He's going to poke it out, see what happens. If there's a commit down here, I don't like the idea of them committing down here. The tanks are just doing it. You can see this is what I was talking about before. So watch this with the supports. Watch this with the tanks rather. Like D.Va goes down, Winston goes up. D.Va blocking. This is giving Soldier time to get some damage in. Okay, D.Va goes out, Winston goes in, bubble. Blocking, goes out. And then they might rotate it once more, or they might just let it go. Meanwhile, they've just built up a bunch of Soldier ultimate, they've eaten up a bunch of barrier. They're getting shit done, or trying to get shit done. And just trying to occupy some space. Rascal having a bit of trouble with the boxes. Managing to get control of the high ground. Almost explodes Eska. Almost, but Eska's fine. Eska's feeling good. Guido, oh. Zen, what are you doing out here, man? What? That's also an EMP by the looks of it. No, it's just someone gets hacked. This is a lost Zenyatta, I guess. He's just retreated and he's just been found by Guido and killed. And he's even found another support. If he gets his health pack as well, that's huge. Yes, he does. So now he can just keep pressure on. No, he's getting forced out by the enemy tracer. So this is where set a thief to catch a thief. You set a tracer to catch a tracer. And they're just going to push forward though. Because the supports are so busy running from tracers and dying to this tracer, it's just leaving the front line completely fucking open. Does eventually go down, but during all of this time, they just moved in. Tracer, like Guido just won them that entire thing. And it's... The question I have is, where's Void? During this moment, where is Void? Void needs to be with these supports. That is Void. And he's stepping back out to try and contest the payload. Honestly, at this moment, Luffy needs to be screaming at his D.Va to come help him. And then so basically what should be happening is that D.Va should be going and supporting, and basically these guys should be linking up as all as a big fucking unit. Yeah, big thing. Like, we should be seeing like a link up of these guys. So that the D.Va can protect the supports, because this is just not what you want. This is sad, bad, sad, frown town. This is Guido getting a shit ton done, because what this means is that now Luffy dies, and now the Lucio is busy pissing around with a tracer. This is not what he wants to be doing. He wants to be helping the rest of his team. Does eventually get a bit of space here, but during all of this time, because the Zenyatta's been running away. Imagine fucking Winston here. Fisher has got no hit points, and so that's gonna be it. And now Void has no hit points, and now Waka Waka has no hit points. Rascal's swapping up even, going to the Sombra to maybe try and deny some packs on the next point, and they're gonna play around the shuttle. Let's see how they set up for the next point. This is a nice big advantage for 36 High. Like, they have two support ults, they're gonna be up way faster because the first deaths on Kongdu were supports, which is always bad. So there's a window here, basically. Playing around the health pack, EMP flips the health pack, which is kind of important. Instantly deletes the Zenyatta. Just seizing an initiative, like they know they have the ultimate advantage, so they know that Rascal's not going to be able to counter EMP this or anything like that, so they're going to go in and kill Luffy super quick, then maybe try and get something done off it, but they're all fighting in a small room. Like, this is always the danger. This is always a calculated risk on any pro level match, is when you're fighting in rooms like this. Good examples of rooms like this is going to be Nepal Village on the high ground. So in Nepal Village, you know, it's like the T-shape, and you got like the two high ground doors coming in, and when you go into those rooms, it's extremely dangerous. Control Center is another example when you start going down the corridor on Lijiang. So you chase the enemy team, you start going down the corridor. That's extremely dangerous. This is another example of a room like that, where there's just like the enemy team is all in here, and so sure they get the Zen, but I think they're just being super greedy by just staying in here and trying to get more off the back of it. They could just kill the Zen, step back out, keep the payload rolling, and then just use their support, like one support ultimate maybe or something, and just keep winning. That's unfortunate. Eska uses EMP. And Waka Waka just, like, gets a fucking ultimate off still. It doesn't even touch Luffy. Doesn't seem to do anything. So Eska, being Eska, doing Eska things. Kongdu gonna hold out on the defense. Feels good, man. I heard Eska was rotating 4 health packs. Ooh. If we can take control of all 4, that would be pretty juicy. Lunatic High just gonna start springing back. This is where spawner vertices come in. Losing fish is pretty huge. They're just gonna start the payload rolling. Bird Ring biding his time. Gonna try and just mince one of the supports. Probably just looking to put a pulse bomb on something. There's a discorded Winston. Gets the Winston ult. Honestly, not too bad. But during this time, Guido has managed to kill Sombra because the Tracers aren't contesting each other. And I'm guessing. So what I want you guys to watch is Rascal's health bar, because what I'm guessing has happened here. Like, anytime I see a Tracer kill a Sombra, what it usually means is the Sombra right now is out hunting. Ooh, too thick. The Sombra right now is out hunting. She's stealthing around looking for something to shoot at and then just gonna recall out, right? So she knows she's safe with her translocator. Tracer has found her translocator. The Tracer is just waiting. So watch Rascal's health as it sort of gets chunked down. Picked up a health pack. Okay. Chunk, 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 chunk. Like, that to me looks like they probably just recalled and then Tracer's just shooting the shit out of Rascal at the moment. Because this should not happen unless Tracer is literally fighting on top of the fucking translocator. There's just no way. That means that they're completely safe. Like, Toby now can feel safe to use Sound Barrier. They can, Ryu Jaehong can actually feel like he can play aggressively. They can put these support ultimates to work. They can feel even happier now and just keep on pushing in. There's the Transcendence, so they just dive onto the enemies and yada. This means that now these support ultimates are going to be really strong. Wouldn't be surprised to see Ryu Jaehong use his. Correct, there we go. So just uses his, and now soon afterwards, Toby's probably going to use his Sound Barrier. If they even need it. Like, if they feel they need it, they have it. But it looks like it's going to push him out and win anyway. Like, they just win the fight purely. Very, very simple. Just simple things, like just simple incidences, simple little step 1, step 2, step 3, or little catches. Tracer just getting a pick. Tracer just finds a pick and just creates an opening. Okay, they don't have Sombra anymore. Okay then, that means that Zenyatta is free to move forward because he's not afraid suddenly of a Sombra appearing out of fucking nowhere, EMPing and killing him when he's on 50 health. It means that Lucio could potentially use his ultimate because he's not afraid of a Sombra EMPing and just deleting all of his ultimate. It's just small openings and then just instant fucking capitalization on that. And this is what the best teams in the world do. They find those openings and they capitalize instantaneously. They know what they're going to do the moment those openings are created. And so now Kongdu forced onto the retreat, but honestly, final point of Watch Point Gibraltar, it's a hard point to take. It's a hard point to take. It's just, it's going to be difficult if you don't have support ultimates, to be honest. Hold on to this. Eska almost good to go as well. Very, very nice forward setup here. Spots the enemy, like, collides with the enemy Sombra, but takes the health back, which is crucial. That's going to make it harder for Rascal to actually take anything worth taking. So Kongdu, by the looks of it, so this kind of push is indicative of them trying to get, like, they know that they are playing from a disadvantage. When you see a team do this kind of aggressive play, this is a sign that they are playing from a disadvantage and they know it. So what they're going to try and do is dive on the enemy supports and try and, like, it's like an eco push. It's like it's more of an evolved form of an eco push where you are going super, super hard on their support. You are trying to make the supports panic and do something. And then if they do something, okay, that's it. That's all you do. And so if Kongdu can slow them down and get some support ultimates, and then they can fight around the corner, and they'll probably have their support ultimates ready to go. They get Ryu Jaehong, they're nice and patient with it. Asuka fires off an EMP to maybe try and keep his supports alive or try and stall this. That's honestly fine for them. Like, EMP, no one gives a shit. EMP comes out of Rascal. But honestly, yeah, could be going okay. Bird Ring is pretty fucking good. Turns out, beautiful bomb. Absolutely beautiful bomb. Absolutely beautiful play from Bird Ring. Holy shit. And they're even just stalling out this poor D.Va. And I think D.Va is going to try and build it up manually. Honestly, this is creating a problem for Zumba. So right now, Kongdu, Panthera can basically do the same push, exactly the same, but they just jump on Zumba and kill him. Like, there is now a window of opportunity where they can just jump in and just kill Zumba. Because there's no way Zumba survives any kind of focus. Baby D.Va can't take that pressure. So you can see they're pushing in. Zumba manages to get mech back. They use the sound barrier this time. They feel safe using it because EMPs were used last fight, and there hasn't been much time to rebuild it. So okay, fair enough. Both teams using it. Kongdu Panthera should just... Luffy's going to wait a moment to press Q. There's the Q press. Fortunately, hey, Bertring gets annihilated because Tracers can get one shot. D.Va Bomb just going to clear the point even because reasons. Self-destruct gets one. EMP, this might be the swing that they needed. This feels like Kongdu Panthera not quite getting the kills quick enough. And so Lunatic High starting to edge it back. Losing that Tracer was pretty fucking huge because if you're running Sombra Tracer, you have no other source of DPS other than the fucking Tracer. And so if Tracer dies, you can't really kill anything, but it looks like it's just been enough. Lunatic High have to regroup. Okay. Panic mode is over. Lunatic High, though, now have a nice edge. Now have a really nice advantage. Again, Kongdu Panthera probably going to try and play it super aggressive. They're going to spot Ryu Jae Hong, jump on him, try and force Transcendence, especially if they get... So what Kongdu should be looking to do is Rascal should be scouting, finding where Ryu Jae Hong is, and you can see that Birdring's up here. He's going to jump down when the Sombra appears, and if they just force Ryu Jae Hong to ult, that'll pretty much win them the fight. You can see, spot him out. You can see the Tracer jumps down. D.Va has to defense matrix it. Has to ult. Okay. Now they're going to have to fall back a little bit, try and regroup as best they can. Like, their job right now, Kongdu, is just don't die. Don't die, don't die, don't die. Winston even going in, causing some fucking havoc, just jumping all over Ryu Jae Hong's poor face. Might even get it. No, doesn't look like it. He just got exploded. Fisher just goes down. And now Lunatic High have an opportunity here. This is all on them. Esker actually going to have an ultimate as well, so he's just going to go balls deep. Gets the Zen. This is it, I think. This should be it. Especially with that hack. Holy shit. And I will be moderately impressed with Panthera if they hold on to this. There's the bomb from Zumba. Push comes in. They manage just to regroup in time, but look at the health bars. They're so low, but the stalls. This is spawn distances. All down to spawn distances. Guido, if he can get on this fucking Zen. Zen's so close to an ultimate. If Zen stays alive, that's a big problem. There's the sound barrier. There's the clear. They just need to push one or two people off point. They should still be okay. They completely outnumber the enemy. Enemy can't really stay on and contest it. They have a Zenyatta there to Discord orb and focus targets down and burn them down. Lucio goes down. D.Va goes down. You see how fast they're dying? See how quick they're going down? And then they push it in. Okay, thank God. Lunatic High. Very, very nicely played. Very, very nicely played. Like Kongdu, like to Kongdu's credit, they held in that final corner and held it extremely well. It's just there was just not quite enough pressure or damage, and that is like pretty much halfway through this entire fucking series. Like this series goes on for another hour and a half, and I don't really have time to go over more of it. I'm sorry. Pretty fucking insane. Did you see that right click from Ryu obliterate the sound barrier? I like Ryu Jae Hong a lot, so let's see. So this is where it's happening at the moment. Fisher. Let's watch Fisher's health. So Fisher's going to go in. Ults before he even actually really needs to, but he's just going to try and trap Ryu Jae Hong in the corner. And you could just, like, look how fast that drops. Look how quick this drops. This is... Everyone's just focusing on him. And it just... Boom. Holy shit. I want to look at that, and I want to look at Esker. And let's see Esker's ult percentage. Look at it shoot up! Look at it shoot up! Discord orb, big target, Sombra. And then Sombra, D.Va, Tracer all shooting big meaty target with a Discord orb on it. That gets Esker an ult. Like, this all fucking snowballs. This gets Esker his ultimate in time. Gets the EMP, stops Luffy getting anything, and then boom, bish bash bosh. Fucking, like... You can see, again, these fucking tiny, tiny narrow margins. This is why pro play is so exciting to me. This is why I really love watching pro Overwatch, because it is on these narrow margins, and I think you can at this, like, some people have a tendency to grossly overcomplicate Pro Overwatch and try and make it like super planned out, and everything is planned and methodical, and we're going to put this pulse bomb right here and get this result right here and get this result done. It's not really that. It's more tracers sharking around looking for results, looking to try and just cause a little bit of chaos, cause a little bit of mayhem in the enemy's plans, because you can't predict a tracer pulse bomb or a tracer just appearing on one clipping. Or you can predict it, but then you've got to have like the diva there to try and catch it. If the diva doesn't catch it, then the tracer could suddenly completely turn a situation on its head. And so that's what makes it exciting and organic, and that's what makes it so that these players can outplay each other and actually get good results. There are moments where, like, even these teams, even these fucking hallowed teams, these are like the two best teams in the world. We saw them both fire off the support ultimates at the same time, for example. We've seen them fire off questionable ultimates on Reaper. We've seen questionable EMPs at the last minute. It's insane, and it's cool, and it's fun, and it's exciting, and I love Pro Overwatch so dearly with all my heart that I really hope that Overwatch League makes it all work. Thank you guys for watching to the end. If you have managed to make it all the way through the stream, congratulations. Thank you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully you guys enjoyed me talking for like 3 hours, pretty much straight, about pro level Overwatch. Hopefully this has been informative. Hopefully this has made maybe a couple of you more excited about it. Maybe not. I'm going to find someone to host in a second or two. Otherwise, guys, I'll see you guys tomorrow, playing some ranked and having a good time. We had, I think, a total of 1 sub today. Let me try and find it. Over here and here. It is massively appreciated. I never feel obliged to do it. And I also missed a host from Poopy. I'm so sorry, Poopy. Oh my god, I feel terrible. If you are watching from Poopy, much love, and I'll send him a affectionate tweet. I sometimes miss subs, unfortunately. It was, yeah, Valkyrie 58. Much love to you, my friend. We do the rest of the series. We'll probably be doing World Cup next week, which will also be South Korea, so expect to see some of these players coming back. We might find a different team to talk about, though. Who knows? Could be Canada, could be Netherlands, who knows? We'll see. Thank you guys for hanging out anyway. I've been Joshua, one voice amongst many. I'll see you guys tomorrow for some Overwatch. Bye! Outro screen. I need to find license-free music to play in it too. BRB.